Chapter 81. Translator, H2DH2 Mr. Therefore, Du Xiaofu came up with the idea of betting. When he passed by the Bao Lai enterprise, he disguised himself and walked in to prevent anyone from seeing the only contestant from the Du family betting. If word got out, it would cause a lot of unnecessary commotion. Du Xiaofu originally wanted to bet on himself, but found that he was the hot favorite this time. The odds were very low. Even if he placed all his bets on himself, even if he won the championship, the odds would only be 3 times. 3 times, a total of more than 90,000 cultivation coins. After deducting his capital, he would only win 66,000 cultivation coins. The odds for the less popular bets were extremely high, some even reaching 100 times. This gave Du Xiaofu an idea. 33,000 cultivation coins. In the end, he gritted his teeth and bet on Bai Mei from the Bai family. Bai Mei was at the 8th level of the Hotian realm. If he entered the top 10, the odds would be 30 times. If he entered the top 5, the odds would be 120 times. If he entered the top 4, the odds would be 160 times. This gave Du Xiaofu enough reason to grit his teeth and take the risk. Then, there was the scene in the contest that puzzled the members of the major families. After winning the betting slip, the amount was huge. Du Xiaofu was not stupid. He naturally did not trust the Bao Lai enterprise too much, so he called the king-scaled demon tiger to wait outside. After entering the Bao Lai enterprise, Du Xiaofu felt that something was wrong. If he did not have a card up his sleeve, why would he enter the tiger's den and risk his life? Bang bang bang. In a short time, the rumbling sounds of the door being kicked could be heard from outside the Bao Lai enterprise. There was a lot of noise, as if many people were rushing over. Looking at Huang San, who was being held captive by him, Du Xiaofu's brows twitched slightly. Then, a faint smile appeared on his face as he said softly, "You're in trouble. You're in big trouble." Whoosh whoosh. Just as Du Xiaofu's voice fell, many figures had already arrived in a hurry. Waves of vigorous aura descended. As the figures moved, the entire Bao Lai enterprise was completely surrounded. Yi clans Yi Baolin, Ji clans Yan Qingsong, Qin clans Qin Zongqiong, Bai clans Bai Jiru, Du clans Du Zhenwu, Du Zhixiong, and other experts from various clans had arrived. Without a doubt, it was that shocking tiger roar that had drawn out all the patriarchs of the 5 great clans. What happened? What happened just now? Looking at the messy scene, everyone's expression changed in confusion. Du Xiaofu. The expressions of many people changed once again when they saw Du Xiaofu's figure in the wreckage. This was especially the case for Feng Qingsong from the Ran clan. His expression was the ugliest when he looked at his surroundings. "Xiaofu, why are you here? Are you all right?" Du Zhixiong saw Du Xiaofu and immediately rushed to Du Xiaofu's side. "Second uncle, I'm fine." A smile appeared on Du Xiaofu's face. Then, he roughly explained the situation of the trouble caused by the betting slip. As for the appearance of the king-scaled demonic tiger, Du Xiaofu only said that he didn't know about it. The king-scaled demonic tiger had suddenly appeared and killed the 3rd master before suddenly leaving. After hearing Du Xiaofu's summary of the situation, Du Zhixiong couldn't hold back anymore. He immediately shouted angrily, "Bastard, how dare you renege on my Du clan's debt and attack my Du clan's people? Men, tie up all the people from the Bao Lai enterprise. Seal up the Bao Lai enterprise for me first." As soon as Du Zhixiong's voice fell, the angry Du clan disciples immediately rushed out. They punched and kicked the remaining people from the Bao Lai enterprise and tied them up on the ground. Unfortunately, the people from the Bao Lai enterprise didn't dare to fight back. In Stone City, who dared to fight against the 5 great clans? At this moment, if they still fought back, the Du clan's people would probably annihilate them on the spot. The expressions of the people from the various great clans changed. After listening to Du Xiaofu's summary of the situation, many people finally understood why Du Xiaofu had been protecting the Bai clans by Mei during yesterday's contest. It seemed that Du Xiaofu had long planned for the Bao Lai enterprise. A single betting slip was enough to bankrupt the Bao Lai enterprise. 2 million cultivation coins, this was a huge sum even for the 5 great clans. Du Xiaofu, this brat, is too evil and ruthless. The experts from the various great clans sighed in their hearts. Their gazes were fixed on the seemingly upright, kind-looking, and harmless youth. In fact, this fellow was evil, ruthless, and extremely cunning. Ran Qingsong, you have to give me an explanation for this matter. Otherwise, my Du clan will definitely not let this matter rest. Du Zhenwu suddenly glared at Ran Qingsong. The expression on his face showed that he wasn't joking. Du Zhenwu, what do you mean? This matter has nothing to do with me. Ran Qingsong said in a deep voice. Du Zhenwu shook his long sleeves and looked straight at Ran Qingsong. Stop pretending. Since you want to deal with my nephew, don't blame me for being impolite. The Bao Lai enterprise is backed by the Heavenly Spirit Hunting Group, which is also related to your Ran clan. The gazes of the other clans immediately fell on Ran Qingsong. How could the people from the various great clans not know about this matter? The various great clans all had some vassal forces behind them. The Bao Lai enterprise and the Heavenly Spirit Hunting Group were in fact together. The Heavenly Spirit Hunting Group was a vassal force of the Ran clan. This was no longer an open secret among the various great clans. The Heavenly Spirit Hunting Group has nothing to do with my Ran clan. This matter has nothing to do with me either. Ran Qingsong gritted his teeth and said coldly. At this moment, he was itching to tear apart the people from the Bao Lai enterprise. These bastards actually dared to deal with Du Xiaofu so openly. Were they not courting death? Even if his Ran clan wanted to make a move, they couldn't do it so openly. If he admitted that the Bao Lai enterprise was related to him now, it would undoubtedly be admitting that the Bao Lai enterprise's attempt to kill Du Xiaofu was somehow related to the Ran clan. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, the Du clan would definitely not let the Ran clan off, whether it was for the sake of face or revenge. Ran Qingsong wasn't afraid of the Du clan, but he didn't want to fight with the Du clan right now. They couldn't fight during this special period. Moreover, if he admitted it now, the Du clan would undoubtedly be in the right while the Ran clan would be in a passive position. Therefore, no matter what, Ran Qingsong knew that he couldn't admit it. He could only abandon the Bao Lai enterprise and the Heavenly Spirit Hunting Group at this time. However, Ran Qingsong didn't know that the Bao Lai enterprise was also sullen. Before the big clans came in, none of them knew that the person wearing the cloak was Du Xiaofu from the Du clan. Otherwise, they wouldn't have dared to touch Du Xiaofu. Ran Qingsong, it's good that you have nothing to do with this. If it has something to do with your Ran clan, then don't blame me for being ruthless. I'll kill every descendant of your Ran clan I see in the future. Du Zhenwu glared fiercely at Ran Qingsong. This time, he was really angry. Du Zhixiong kicked away a person from the Bao Lai enterprise who was tied up at his feet. However, he still couldn't vent his anger. He said to the deputy commander of the Du clan, Du Qi, behind him, Du Qi, inform the experts in the clan to prepare to head to the barbaric beast mountain range. Our Du clan will annihilate the Heavenly Spirit Hunting Group if they dare to touch the people of my Du clan. Second Master, I'll make the arrangements right away. Du Qi nodded and immediately retreated to make the arrangements. The big clan's faces darkened. Du Xiaofu was the most talented descendant of the Du clan. The people from the Bao Lai enterprise wanted to kill Du Xiaofu, which undoubtedly touched the bottom line of the Du clan. If the Du clan didn't make any big moves, then they wouldn't be the Du clan. This was also the Du clan's declaration to the other clans. However, the people from the big clans, including Yi Baolin, were puzzled. Were the people from the Bao Lai enterprise stupid? They dared to touch the people of the Du clan. Weren't they courting death? Humph, my Du clan hasn't killed anyone for a long time. I'm afraid that many people have forgotten about my Du clan and think that my Du clan is easy to bully. Du Zhixiong kicked the chest of a man from the Bao Lai Enterprise again and again, breaking his ribs and causing blood to spurt out from his mouth. It's good that Xiaofu is fine. Some people who don't have eyes should be dealt with. Yi Baolin spoke. His words implied that he agreed with the actions of the Du clan. He even stood on the side of the Du clan and supported the annihilation of the Heavenly Spirit Hunting Group. Bai Jiru of the Bai clan and Qin Zongqiong of the Qin clan didn't say anything. They all knew that the Heavenly Spirit Hunting Group was related to the Xi clan. They were happy to watch the show. The Du clan wanted to annihilate the Heavenly Spirit Hunting Group, which was equivalent to weakening the power of the Xi clan. However, the Xi clan had to suffer in silence this time. It's just that a king-scaled demonic tiger suddenly appeared in the Stone City. It could disappear under our noses and even kill the third leader of the Heavenly Spirit Hunting Group. Its cultivation level must not be low. Yi Baolin continued. He was more concerned about why a king-scaled demonic tiger suddenly appeared in the Stone City. We must investigate this thoroughly. Could it be that those evil creatures in the Savage Beast Mountain Range are planning to invade the Stone City? The experts of the various clans also fell into deep thought. A king-scaled demonic tiger with an extremely high cultivation level had appeared in the Stone City. This was indeed unusual. If a large number of demonic beasts were planning to invade the Stone City, the consequences would be terrifying. However, after pondering for a long time, the people of the various clans couldn't find anything. Then, the people of the various clans could only discuss how to strictly investigate and be on guard against a large number of demonic beasts invading the Stone City. Du Xiaofu didn't say anything. He simply stood quietly behind his second uncle. He couldn't tell everyone that the king-scaled demonic tiger was his. From the words of Du Zhenwu and Du Zhixiong, it wasn't difficult for Du Xiaofu to know that the Stone City was in troubled times. The situation could change at any time. The king-scaled demonic tiger was his protective talisman and trump card. It was even a trump card of the Du clan, so Du Xiaofu didn't want to reveal it yet. In the end, the various clans left the Bao Lai Enterprise, and the Bao Lai Enterprise owed a large debt to Du Xiaofu. Naturally, the Bao Lai Enterprise was taken over by the Du clan. In the entire Stone City, the Bao Lai Enterprise was one of the most famous enterprises under the 5 great clans. Its value wasn't low. Chapter 82. Now that it had fallen into the hands of the Du family, the other great families were secretly jealous. However, they had no way of getting a share of the loot. Not long after, outside the Du family, a majestic group of Du family practitioners set out for the barbaric Beast Mountain Range. Second Master Du Zhixiong personally led the team. Their goal was to destroy the Heavenly Spirit Hunting Group. After this news spread, the people in the Stone City could only silently pray for the Heavenly Spirit Hunting Group. Although the Heavenly Spirit Hunting Group was very strong, and was one of the top hunting groups at the edge of the barbaric Beast Mountain Range, it was still far from being comparable to the Du family. With the Du family's second master personally taking action, the outcome was obvious. This also proved that the Du family was truly enraged this time. That afternoon, the Du family. In the study, Du Zhenwu handed a cultivation coin card to Du Xiaofu and said, a total of 6 million cultivation coins. After we took over the Bao Lai business, we found over 2 million cultivation coins. The goods within the Bao Lai business are also worth over 2 million cultivation coins. Adding on the Bao Lai business's signboard, it should be enough to cover your winnings. Du Xiaofu was taken aback, then chuckled and said, Uncle, then isn't the 6 million cultivation coins you gave me a little too much? Du Zhenwu smiled faintly and said, You won 2 million cultivation coins. The remaining 800,000 cultivation coins are given to you by the Du family because you gave our Du family a fair and just reason to deal with the Heavenly Spirit Hunting Group. After your second uncle destroys the Heavenly Spirit Hunting Group, I estimate that with the Heavenly Spirit Hunting Group's influence and wealth, we will still be able to obtain over 3 million cultivation coins. Therefore, the 800,000 cultivation coins are given to you by the Du family and is also what you deserve. In fact, the Du family has gained quite a bit this time. Then I won't stand on ceremony. Hearing this, Du Xiaofu did not stand on ceremony. He was currently in need of money, and as the quality of the elixirs for his cultivation increased, they became more and more expensive. This 6 million cultivation coins was already a huge sum that an ordinary person would not be able to touch in their lifetime, but it was definitely not enough to support Jin Qingchun for long. Well done this time, but it was too risky. Don't be so careless next time. Du Xiaofu still had some lingering fear in his heart. If the king-scaled demon tiger hadn't appeared in time, with the strength of the third captain of the heavenly spirit hunting group, Du Xiaofu's fate would have been a little grim. Du Xiaofu could only nod his head in response. It was hard to say that the king-scaled demon tiger was arranged by him in advance. Du Zhenwu looked at Du Xiaofu with satisfaction and continued, "You won the competition yesterday. Today, you can rest for a day. Tomorrow, you will enter the Yi clan's lightning pool. When the time comes, how much you can gain will depend on yourself. I will do my best." Du Xiaofu was already looking forward to it. It was said that the thunder pool was capable of tempering one's body. It was absolutely beneficial to the golden-winged rock body transformation method that he cultivated. Perhaps this time he would be able to further enhance his body transformation method. As for the body transformation method, Du Xiaofu had always placed great importance on it. If it wasn't for the conjoined body transformation method, it would have been hard to say what would have happened to Chao Qitai yesterday. Du Zhenwu hesitated for a moment, then looked at Du Xiaofu and said, "The lightning pool is related to the thunder lion. After you enter the lightning pool, pay a little attention. However, you have to be extra careful. It would be better if you could find out about the Thunder Lion's situation, but the most important thing is to pay attention to your own safety." Du Xiaofu understood the meaning of his uncle's words and lightly nodded his head. The Yi clan was without a doubt the #1 power in Stone City. They had controlled Stone City for many generations and were extremely loved by the residents of Stone City. The next morning, after Du Xiaofu freshened up, he rode a blood Fergana dragon horse to the Yi clan. When he arrived outside the Yi clan, he was respectfully invited in by 2 Yi clan disciples. The Yi clan's buildings were continuous. The courtyards and pavilions were magnificent, and there were artificial mountains and ponds everywhere. The environment was extremely elegant. Under the guidance of the Yi clan disciples, they passed through several long paths. Du Xiaofu arrived at a pavilion, and only then did the 2 Yi clan disciples leave. "You're quite early." A beautiful figure gently walked over. It was Yi Zijin of the Yi clan. Today, she wore a pair of tight pants, which made her slender and straight legs look extremely slender. On top of that, she wore a light-colored short shirt, which made her slender waist and the curve of her chest form a beautiful arc. Yi Zijin's clothes today made her look even more charming, causing Du Xiaofu to take a few more glances at her. Then, he smiled and said, "I'm going to the lightning pool to cultivate. Naturally, I have to be early." Yi Zijin looked at Du Xiaofu and asked, "I'm in charge of bringing you to the lightning pool. I'm sure you know about the origins and uses of the lightning pool, right?" Du Xiaofu nodded his head. His uncle had already told him about the origins and uses of the lightning pool. The lightning pool was owned by the Yi clan and it was rumored that it could only be opened once every few years. Inside the lightning pool, there was a small amount of essence blood from the lightning lion. Cultivating in the lightning pool would allow one to use the lightning to refine one's body. It was extremely beneficial to one's cultivation. If one could cultivate in the lightning pool, one's future would be limitless. This is a lightning resistance pill specially concocted by our Yi clan. Consume it when you enter the lightning pool. If not, the lightning energy within the lightning pool is not something that you can withstand with your current cultivation level. If not, before you can even refine your body, you will be blasted into pieces." As Yi Zijin spoke, she handed a round and shiny pill over to Du Xiaofu. The pill emitted a faint fragrance, causing one to feel comfortable just by smelling it. She spoke softly, "This lightning resistance pill can help you withstand the lightning energy. However, once the effects of the lightning resistance pill have worn off, if you are unable to withstand the lightning energy within the lightning pool, you must not try to withstand it. If anything happens, even my Yi clan will not be able to take responsibility." Du Xiaofu nodded his head, indicating that he understood. Without any hesitation, he accepted the lightning resistance pill. "Then follow me. How much benefits you can gain from the lightning pool will depend on yourself." Yi Zijin smiled. Then, with light steps, she led the way, gesturing for Du Xiaofu to follow beside her. "I heard that you were in the limelight again yesterday," Yi Zijin said softly along the way. "Honest people are easy to bully," Du Xiaofu said softly. Yi Zijin stopped in her tracks. She stared at Du Xiaofu. She really could not see how he was honest. When had he ever been bullied? She heard that in the end, it was the Bao Lai enterprise that ended up in a terrible state. Sigh. Yi Zijin looked at Du Xiaofu. In the end, she did not say anything. She just sighed softly and continued to lead the way. After passing through several small paths, Du Xiaofu followed Yi Zijin to a quiet and secluded place. An ancient building appeared in front of Du Xiaofu's eyes. It was surrounded by a large square. In the middle of it, there was a building that looked like a pagoda but not a pagoda. It looked like a palace but not a palace. It gave off an ancient aura, as if it had existed for many years. What a powerful aura! Du Xiaofu could feel a berserk aura as he stood far away from the building that was neither a tower nor a palace. This aura caused one's heart to tremble for no reason, and could shake one's soul. It was as if there was an abnormally powerful ferocious beast hibernating within this simple and unadorned building. Yi Zijin said, "The lightning pool is inside. Once you enter, the lightning pool will automatically activate. Remember what I said. If you can't withstand it, don't force it." "Okay." Du Xiaofu nodded. After taking in a deep breath, he walked directly into the ancient building. After entering the building, Du Xiaofu could feel the violent aura even more clearly. A dim light shone in from outside the door, making the interior of the building dim and hazy. However, even though the light was dim, it did not prevent Du Xiaofu from seeing a stone door. There was no other path in the building. Du Xiaofu directly stepped through the stone door. Zalala. The moment Du Xiaofu stepped through the stone door behind him suddenly fluctuated with lightning. Zizi, the electric arcs hung on the stone door and shuttled back and forth endlessly. It was like a dense spider web, causing one to shudder. Boom! At this moment, the entire ancient building suddenly shook. Outside the door, electric arcs lingered densely. Even the entire ancient building occasionally flashed with lightning. It was incomparably mystical. I wonder how much he will benefit from it. His body is already very strong. After the lightning pool refines his body, I'm afraid it will be even more terrifying. What a perverse person. Yi Zijin stood in the plaza. After the ancient building's door was enveloped by lightning, her beautiful figure turned and left. Roar! A thunderous beast roar echoed out from within the stone city. The sound wave rushed to the 9 heavens before disappearing into the blue dome of heaven. At this moment, in the stone city, many people's gazes were fixed on the Yi family in the middle of the stone city. Each of them had different expressions on their faces. The power of lightning. Du Xiaofu turned his head to look at the electric arcs on the stone door behind him. Even though he was a distance away, he could still feel a palpitating aura. In front of the stone door, there was a spiral stone staircase. It did not lead upwards, but downwards, as if it was leading to the bottom. Du Xiaofu was not worried. His feet followed the spiral stone staircase as he descended. In his heart, he could feel a violent aura coming from the bottom of the staircase. It was getting more and more violent, and there was a faint sound of thunder. As Du Xiaofu went deeper, electric arcs flashed on the stone walls beside the staircase, illuminating the entire space. The atmosphere inside was also frozen for no reason, causing Du Xiaofu's heart to become inexplicably nervous. When the last step of the staircase was completed, an intense light flashed. The dazzling light caused Du Xiaofu to squint his eyes. After his eyes adjusted, Du Xiaofu opened his eyes. Looking in front of him, his face was filled with astonishment. Is this the lightning pool? What appeared in front of Du Xiaofu's eyes was a huge karst cave. Inside the karst cave, there were densely packed stalactites, a riot of colors. Crackle, on the stalactites, there was lightning flashing on them. It was extremely beautiful and visually stunning. Chapter 83. In the middle of the karst cave, there was a deep underground pool about 100 meters in size. The pool was not stagnant water, but a kind of greenish-white liquid that was extremely viscous. Within the liquid, lightning flashed. Just by looking at it, one would be able to feel its soul-shaking violence. Lightning pool, this is the lightning pool. Du Xiaofu's eyes shone with joy. The violent lightning energy contained within the lightning pool did not cause fear in Du Xiaofu's heart. Instead, it made him look forward to it. Du Xiaofu could feel that this violent lightning would definitely be of great help to his cultivation of the body transformation technique. Although Du Xiaofu could feel that the violent energy within the lightning pool was extremely violent, it might not necessarily be able to harm him. The stronger the energy, the more effective it would be for his conjoined body transformation technique. However, just in case, Du Xiaofu still took out the lightning resistance pill that Yi Zijin had given him and swallowed it. Plop! After swallowing the lightning resistance pill, Du Xiaofu directly leapt into the lightning pool. Instantly, countless streams of liquid flew out, accompanied by lightning. Rumble! The moment Du Xiaofu's figure leapt into the lightning pool, he seemed to have triggered something. Instantly, a deafening rumble of thunder rang out from within the lightning pool. The lightning pool surged and roiled, and streaks of violent lightning spread out along with Du Xiaofu's movements. Waves of violent lightning energy instantly surged towards Du Xiaofu from all directions. Halala! The streaks of lightning were like pythons, wanting to tear Du Xiaofu to shreds within the lightning pool. The terrifying energy squeezed together with the fluctuations of the liquid also seemed to want to crush Du Xiaofu's body until it exploded. Not good, how did it suddenly become so strong? Du Xiaofu's body involuntarily shuddered in the face of this sudden violent reaction. That frightening lightning energy and wild energy seemed to want to tear him apart. What Du Xiaofu did not expect was that there seemed to be no gravity within the lightning pool. Once he entered, he immediately felt weightless. The liquid around him seemed to weigh tens of thousands of kilograms. His own body was trapped within, and it was extremely difficult for him to move even a single step. Hula! Waves of terrifying pressure and lightning energy crashed into Du Xiaofu's body from all directions at once, as if wanting to tear Du Xiaofu's body to shreds. Relying on his already powerful body, Du Xiaofu could not help but feel his internal organs editor, Chrissy Du Xiaofu's. However, at this moment, Du Xiaofu could clearly feel that the lightning resistance pill he had just consumed was taking effect. The medicinal effect surged in his body, then spread out from his pores, turning into a layer of transparent stratum corneum that wrapped around his body. This stratum corneum looked ordinary, but at this moment, it was able to isolate more than half of the huge pressure and lightning energy in the lightning pool. Therefore, Du Xiaofu's pressure was greatly reduced. However, there was still a constant flow of lightning energy and pressure. In this weightless lightning pool, Du Xiaofu still felt that it was extremely difficult for him to move. Every step was extremely difficult, as if there was a huge mountain in front of him that was difficult to overcome. Ripples spread within the lightning. Although the lightning resistance pill had formed a cuticle to block it, there was still lightning energy that penetrated into Du Xiaofu's body. The unique wild and violent energy contained within the lightning surged into his body, immediately causing Du Xiaofu's entire body to turn numb and tremble. If it were not for the lightning resistance pill, it was likely that his body would not just be numb, but would be directly torn apart. Start practicing the body cultivation method. Du Xiaofu formed a hand seal. Everything was ready, and he immediately began practicing the body cultivation method in the lightning pool. Time passed slowly. As Du Xiaofu entered the lightning pool, many things happened in the Savage Beast mountain range. The Heavenly Spirit Hunting Group, who was at the edge of the Savage Beast mountain range, did not know what had happened. They were suddenly attacked by the experts of the Du family. There were many experts of the Du family who were sent out. They almost destroyed the Heavenly Spirit Hunting Group with an unstoppable momentum. In the Stone City, after the competition between the younger generation of the 5 great families ended, it fell into a kind of silence. This kind of silence made some of the more sensitive people feel extremely depressed. This kind of silence was extremely abnormal. It was like the calm before the storm. Du Zhenwu, Du Zhixiong, let's see how long you can be arrogant for. I will definitely not let you off. In the courtyard of the Ran family, Ran Qingsong's face was gloomy and cold. This time, the Ran family had suffered a lot and suffered heavy losses. He would definitely not let the Du family off so easily. The continuous range of mountains was filled with dense, verdant greenery. Above the mountains and precipitous ridges, the white mist was like elegant silk, swaying with the wind. The huge city was connected, and the vast buildings were boundless. As the sun set in the west, the sunset glow was like a red leaf falling to the yellow dust-covered ground. The mountains under the setting sun turned dark purple, like reefs in the sea of clouds. In the majestic hall, a middle-aged man dressed in yellow had a cold glint in his eyes. His entire body was emitting an awe-inspiring aura. He had a tall body, thick arms, and strong chest muscles. With a deep voice, he asked a thin old man beside him, Elder Heng, how's Qi Tai's injury? The thin old man said, his injuries are very serious. His internal organs are also affected. Fortunately, there is no danger to his life. After my treatment, he should be able to recover soon. I didn't expect that there would be such an extraordinary kid in this small stone city. However, since he injured my son, he can only go die. The man in yellow clothes had a gloomy look. He then said to the first prince, someone, inform the Qin family of the stone city. Once there is a change in the stone city, immediately send a message. Yes, princess. The first prince hurriedly received the order and left. Princess, I'm afraid that the Thunder Lion won't be able to hold on for much longer. As long as we can obtain the Thunder Lion's remains, Princess will be able to progress further. The young princess will also be able to obtain great benefits. The thin old man said softly. The stone city is mine for sure. The middle-aged man in yellow clothes raised his head, and a violent aura fluctuated around him. Pain, a pain that went deep into his bones. Du Xiaofu's body felt like it was being torn apart by the lightning. An endless stream of lightning flashed and emerged from the thunder pool. Then, it continuously swept over him, causing his entire body to feel numb and painful. There was no gravity in the thunder pool. Even waving one's arm required a force of 10,000 pounds. At this moment, Du Xiaofu's entire body was wrapped in lightning. The lightning shuttled in and out of his body. It was extremely mysterious. After 7 days, the stratum corneum formed by the thunder resistance elixir had begun to fade. The power of the lightning was becoming more and more violent. The power of the lightning entered Du Xiaofu's body. It was burning hot. It was as if it would not stop until it destroyed all of his bones, muscles, and organs into ashes. Sizzle. Du Xiaofu could feel that his meridians, bones, and even blood were filled with the power of the lightning. Using the golden rock's body refining technique, Du Xiaofu's body was wrapped in a faint golden light. His arms swung in the thunder pool, hitting the liquid in the thunder pool. The golden light spread like a rock flapping its wings. However, every time he swung his arms, it was as if the power was about to be exhausted. Everything was as Du Xiaofu had expected. The power of the lightning in the thunder pool was indeed very beneficial to the golden rock's body refining technique. Gritting his teeth and enduring the pain in his body, Du Xiaofu swung his arms in different directions. His body moved in the thunder pool, as if he was slamming into a hard cliff. He distributed the power of the lightning evenly throughout his body. Then, he used the power of the lightning to cultivate the first level of the golden rock's body refining technique. Boom! The stratum corneum formed by the thunder resistance elixir on Du Xiaofu's body finally disappeared completely. The crazy lightning no longer had any reservations. It surged into Du Xiaofu's body violently. The huge pressure in the thunder pool also pressed down on Du Xiaofu's body. The sound of thunder reverberated through the thunder pool, shaking everyone's heart. Bzzzt bzzzt. Du Xiaofu's entire body was wrapped in lightning. It was as if he had become a ball of lightning. The violent lightning continuously seeped out from every part of his body. Ah! Finally, Du Xiaofu clenched his teeth and could no longer resist. A miserable cry was emitted from his mouth as the wild and violent lightning energy wreaked havoc within his body. Under this kind of tyrannical destruction that penetrated deep into his bones, every minute and second felt like years, causing Du Xiaofu to nearly faint on the spot. His internal organs, bones, muscles, meridians and acupuncture points were also in increasing pain. This kind of body refining technique was a kind of torture. Even the Xian energy in his body could not escape this fate. His Xian energy was invaded by the all-pervasive lightning. I can't give up. The stronger it is, the better the effect of the body refining technique. After 10 years of experience, Du Xiaofu's willpower had long surpassed that of an ordinary person. Under the terrifying power of the lightning, he still maintained his consciousness and continued to resist. If it was anyone else, they would have long been smashed into pieces by this terrifying lightning. Du Xiaofu did not know that every time the thunder pool opened, those who took the thunder resistance elixir would not be able to last until the effects of the thunder resistance elixir disappeared. Generally speaking, for those who entered the thunder pool, it was already very good if they could last for 5 days. 6 days was the limit. It was said that for so long, the only person who could last until the effects of the thunder resistance elixir completely disappeared was a very, very long time ago. But this was a matter of the Sea clan. In the violent lightning, Du Xiaofu knew that the more violent it was, the greater the effect it would have on his body refining technique. Chapter 84. Although the pain was unbearable, Du Xiaofu could already feel that his body was beginning to transform under the impact of the violent lightning. How could he let go of such a great opportunity? Refine the golden feathers. The lightning pool rumbled, lightning crackling as it filled the air. Du Xiaofu roared, golden light rippling all over his body, faintly flickering with runes. Amidst the golden light, it seemed to condense into the illusory image of a golden-winged rock. His entire person was like a rock playing in the pool, his arms waving about, striking the liquid, his body slamming into the lightning pool. Rumble. The lightning pool rumbled, lightning churning, incomparably violent. Amidst the unbearable pain of ordinary people, Du Xiaofu gritted his teeth and withstood it. His bones, meridians, and even his muscles were like fine steel in the raging flames, being tempered at a rather slow speed, becoming increasingly tough and filled with explosive power. Everything was transforming amidst the thunder and lightning. 9 days already, how can he be so strong? No one has ever been able to surpass 7 days. On the square, outside the building that resembled a pagoda yet not a pagoda, lightning flashed. Yi Baolin stared into the building, his eyes filled with doubt. It was said that a long time ago, an extraordinary person had appeared among the ancestors of the Sea clan, and had also entered the lightning pool to cultivate. However, he had only been in there for 7 days, and when the effects of the lightning resistance pill had completely dissipated, he could no longer resist. That was already the highest record. But now, Du Xiaofu had actually entered for 9 days. The number of inconceivable things that have happened to him is really not small, Yi Zijin said softly. Yi Baolin turned to look at his beloved daughter, saying, to be able to enter the lightning pool for 9 days is not simply inconceivable. I even suspect that in the competition between the younger generation of the 5 great clans, he had not even used his full strength. He is much stronger than we imagined. Then is it a blessing or a curse that we chose the Du clan? If the Du clan ends up. After a long time, Yi Zijin said softly, her eyes rippling. Roar, just as Yi Zijin's voice fell, a loud bestial roar rang out once again, the sound waves rolling. The power of lightning above the huge building also rippled violently, a terrifying aura spreading out. Instantly, Yi Baolin's and Yi Zijin's expressions changed greatly. Looking at the continuously flickering lightning, Yi Baolin's voice, Yi Baolin, Leizu, he can't hold on. Within the lightning pool, rolling thunder and lightning flashed, enveloping Du Xiaofu within. Du Xiaofu unceasingly used the power of thunder and lightning to temper his body, allowing the thunder and lightning to envelop him, Lala. The liquid in the lightning pool rippled, the lightning was like a silver snake as it swept towards Du Xiaofu. Once it came into contact with the golden light around Du Xiaofu's body, it would explode with a faint muffled sound, before it was directly swallowed into Du Xiaofu's body, disappearing without a trace. Although the power of lightning was strong, in the face of the faint golden light around Du Xiaofu's body, it became weaker and weaker. It was as if all the energy and lightning in the lightning pool had been completely absorbed by Du Xiaofu. Using lightning to refine his body, Du Xiaofu was definitely torturing himself. For 9 days, he had endured the bombardment of lightning, as well as the crushing pressure from the lightning pool. However, during these 9 days of perseverance, Du Xiaofu could clearly feel that within his body, whether it was his meridians or his bones, they were constantly strengthening and transforming. Even the aura on his body was growing stronger and stronger. The liquid in the lightning pool also contained a huge amount of energy, which was extremely beneficial to his cultivation. It even made Du Xiaofu feel that he seemed to be on the verge of a breakthrough. On the 10th day, just as Du Xiaofu was enduring the pain of the lightning tribulation, feeling that his condition was getting better and better, and even faintly felt that he was about to make another breakthrough, the lightning energy within the lightning pool suddenly weakened rapidly. A moment later, the power of lightning gradually disappeared. It was as if the power of lightning and energy in the lightning pool had been completely absorbed by Du Xiaofu alone. Hula. As the power of lightning and energy dissipated, Du Xiaofu's aura, which seemed to be on the verge of a breakthrough, suddenly stopped. Then, his aura began to weaken. The golden light around his body fluctuated, and the transformation of the golden feathers also stopped. The lightning pool stopped fluctuating, and the flashing lightning around it also began to dissipate. Du Xiaofu had unknowingly sat cross-legged in the liquid of the lightning pool. At this moment, his eyes were opened, and he stared intently at the lightning pool. Just a little more. If there was more power of lightning in the lightning pool, I'm afraid that my cultivation level and body refinement would be able to take another step forward. Du Xiaofu's eyes were filled with regret. From the transformation in his body and the aura on his body, he felt that if he could endure for a little longer, he should be able to take another step forward. Unfortunately, the energy in the lightning pool had already dissipated, as if it had been completely absorbed by him. You're obviously a human, but the aura on your body has the aura of a demon. Oh well, since I can't hold on for much longer, I might as well help you out a little. Suddenly, from within the lightning pool, an old but deep voice sounded. Who is it? Du Xiaofu's heart immediately went on high alert. His eyes scanned his surroundings, but he did not discover that there was a second person in the lightning pool. Boom! Just as Du Xiaofu's voice rang out, the lightning pool, which had just calmed down, began to fluctuate again. Bolts of lightning, like silver snakes, continuously shot out from all directions. The energy in the lightning pool once again overflowed, and once again rushed towards Du Xiaofu. Boom! The energy in the lightning pool was even more violent than the previous 10 days. A huge pressure enveloped Du Xiaofu. Under the terrifying power of the lightning and crushing force, Du Xiaofu gritted his teeth and resisted. He felt that if the violent power of the lightning was just a little bit stronger, he would not be able to withstand it. Could it be that the rumor, to continue cultivating, Du Xiaofu was stunned. He felt the changes in the lightning pool and hesitated for a moment. Then, his hand seals changed, and he continued to cultivate. Sizzle. Golden light once again spread around Du Xiaofu's body. Golden runes flickered, and the surrounding lightning seemed to be attracted by something. After which, it rushed towards Du Xiaofu even more violently. However, the moment these seemingly violent lightning and energy came into contact with the golden light around Du Xiaofu's body, they were like water that came into contact with a sponge, and instantly disappeared. Within the lightning pool, lightning danced, and the surface of the pool was boiling. Bolts of lightning, like silver snakes, began to move violently at this moment. Faintly, rumbling sounds of thunder could be heard, and they enveloped Du Xiaofu from all directions. Under the cover of this crazy lightning, Du Xiaofu's body once again formed a lightning ball. Even the golden light around his body began to be enveloped by it. At night, the entire stone city was shrouded in the darkness, causing the air to freeze for no reason. Silver-white moonlight scattered on the ground, and the fragrance of the night filled the air, weaving into a soft net that covered everything within. There was also a faint sense of oppression, as if something was about to erupt. Roar! The roar of a beast resounded throughout the stone city, and the millions of citizens of the stone city were awakened from their deep sleep. Recently, the roar of a beast had become more frequent in the stone city. The roar of a beast shook the sky, and it was filled with vicissitudes, as if it had penetrated through time. For no reason, there was an indescribable sadness in one's heart. He finally can't hold on any longer. Is this his final struggle? Within the stone city, a figure stood on top of a pavilion. His eyes were filled with anticipation, as if he had been waiting for countless years. A figure stood on top of a mountain. He waved his hand and softly said, "That big shot from the Yi family should be unable to hold on any longer. Inform the Chao family of the Flowing Cloud County that the operation can begin." On a small island in the middle of a lake, an old figure stood. He gazed in the direction of the Yi family in the city and softly muttered, "It's finally here. The stone city will no longer be peaceful." Within the Du family, the king-scaled demonic tiger stood in the courtyard like a cat. It raised its head and gazed in the direction of the roar. Its eyes flickered, and there was a faint sense of anticipation and yearning. "You don't need to think too much. Your bloodline is not bad, and perhaps you will be able to walk your own path in the future. There are too many people eyeing that big shot in the city. I'm afraid that in the end, it will all be for naught. That level is not something that just anyone can covet." On the rattan chair, Du Tingshuan's eyes were hazy with drunkenness. He gazed at the starry sky, as if he was talking to the king-scaled demonic tiger. Then, he drank a few more mouthfuls, as if he was talking to himself. Little stone city, there are also crouching tigers and hidden dragons. There will be a good show. As his voice faded, a snoring sound came from Du Tingshuan's throat. He had actually fallen asleep. The king-scaled demonic tiger gazed into the distance, its gaze fluctuating. Then, it gently walked to the side of the rattan chair and gently fell asleep beside Du Tingxian. Roar! Another 3 days passed. In these 3 days, the deafening roars in the city became more and more frequent. The roars were sorrowful and low, as if they were filled with unwillingness and helplessness, causing one's heart to ache for no reason. The tens of millions of citizens in the city were in a state of panic. No one knew what had happened. They were all worried that there was a beast tide invading the savage beast mountain range, and they were all hoping that the 5 great clans would come out and investigate. However, what was surprising was that the 5 great clans were completely silent in the face of the frequent and shocking roars. None of the clans took any action. The collective silence of the 5 great clans caused the entire stone city to feel oppressed. In the end, not many people even went out. The roars were accompanied by an invisible pressure that caused one's heart to tremble and palpitate. Roar. Another night, the roars of the beasts shook the heavens and the earth. Following the roars, the entire stone city trembled, as if there was an unimaginably terrifying thing moving. Chapter 85. Look, what's that? Suddenly, someone saw that in the middle of the night, where the Yi family was, there was a terrifying energy fluctuation. In the night sky, dark clouds covered the sky. Then, lightning flashed, lighting up the night sky like it was daytime. The shocking thunder and lightning made people's hearts tremble. The millions of citizens in the stone city were shocked. The terrifying movement made their hair stand on end. Leizu has spent his entire life for the stone city, for the Yi family. Is he finally going to take this final step? Outside the huge building that looked like a palace but not a palace, Yi Zijin's usually cold eyes were moist. We have used all the power of the Yi family, but we can't do anything. We can't help Leizu get through this. I am useless. Yi Baolin was silent. His handsome face was dim. Is this the final radiance of the setting sun? We can act now. A figure stood on the roof of a pavilion. After waiting for countless years, his eyes were finally filled with emotions. On the peak of a mountain, a figure stood. Before the opportunity comes, the Qin family will do our best. On a small island in the middle of a lake, an old figure stood. He looked in the direction of the Yi family and muttered, "We will know the final result tomorrow. However, we don't know what will happen in the end. The Bai family can only take a gamble." Early in the morning, in the distance of the stone city, there were many green mountains. They were like the waves of the sea, surging violently and majestic. Boom! The Qin family, which had been peaceful for the past few days, finally moved. The majestic gate of the Qin family opened and the elite disciples of the Qin family stepped out. Waves of powerful auras swept out. Boom boom boom. Almost at the same time, in the stone city, in two other directions, powerful auras soared into the sky. The stone city, which was originally shrouded in the morning sun, suddenly changed color. They have finally started to act. In the Du family, Du Zhenwu looked into the distance with a serious expression. Du Zhixiong frowned and raised his head. "Big brother, where do we go now?" Du Zhenwu stared at the sky. After a moment of silence, he spoke. "Initially, I didn't want to participate in this. I didn't want to drag the entire clan into this. But now, I have no other choice. In addition, Xiaofu is still in the lightning pool. After all, that is the territory of the Yi clan. Big brother, are you suspecting that Xiaofu hasn't come out yet and that he's actually been detained by the Yi family because you don't trust our Du family?" Du Zhixiong's expression changed. "I'm not sure, but no matter what, we can't escape. We have no other choice," Du Zhenwu said. Du Zhixiong was silent for a moment before he said, "I understand. I'll make the arrangements right away." Stone City's weather changed, and millions of citizens were shaken. Everyone could see that the peaceful Stone City was about to undergo a great change. Outside the Yi residence, the sky was filled with thick dark clouds, causing the morning sun to be unable to penetrate through. This caused the large city to appear dark and oppressive in the early morning. Boom! On a street in front of the Yi family's main entrance square, a large number of figures appeared majestically. The dozens of people at the front were riding a type of savage beast. In the edge of the mountain range, they were all rare golden-furred demon wolves. The golden-furred demon wolf was a type of low-level demon beast. It could be tamed into a mount, but the price was extremely high. It wasn't something an ordinary person could tame. However, the golden-furred demon wolves were the mounts of the Qin family. With dozens of them, one could see how powerful the Qin family was. Within the Qin family, there was an orderly square formation of more than 300 people. They were riding a type of beast that was even stronger than the golden-furred demon wolves, called the Gale Snow Horse. Its entire body was as white as snow, just like white jade. It was rumored that these gale snow horses were extremely fast. On the backs of the gale snow horses, there were people wearing armor. They held long swords in their hands. Their auras were sharp and frightening. These people in armor were obviously not from the Qin family. Experienced and knowledgeable people could tell at a glance that these were the Qi Kingdom's knights. They were the elites of the Empire's army. These people belonged to the Stone Dragon Empire and were from the Flowing Cloud County. It seems that something big has happened to the Yi family. The Qin family has specially come to help. In front of the Qin family, the head of the Qin family, Qin Zongqiong, was riding a particularly large golden-furred demon wolf. He looked at the closed gate of the Yi family and said loudly, "The Yun family has also come to help the Yi family. The Bai family has also come to help the Yi family." Almost at the same time, the auras of the Yun family rushed out from both sides of the Yi family. Then, groups of cracking stone demonic bears and iron-backed demonic oxen came. The rock-splitting demonic bear and the iron-backed demonic cow. These two demonic beasts were not small in size. They were also low-level demonic beasts, but their speed was extremely fast. On the backs of the cracking stone demonic bears, the elite disciples of the Yun family were riding. Yun Qingsung was in the lead. Around him were experts of the Yun family, including Yun Long and Yun Hu. On the backs of many iron-backed demonic oxen, the auras of the Bai family experts fluctuated. Bai Jiru still looked extremely elegant. Bai Tsai quietly stood beside him. Roar, roar, moo, the three big families came together. The golden fur demonic wolves, cracking stone demonic bears, iron-backed demonic oxen, and gale snow horses roared, shaking the stone city. "It's really hard for you to endure for so long." A faint voice came out. The gate of the Yi family opened. Then, numerous disciples of the Yi family stepped out. There were no demon beast mounts, but their auras were not below those of the three big families. Thousands of elite disciples of the Yi family neatly lined up outside the Yi family. They were calm and orderly, but their auras were inexplicably fierce. The middle of the crowd was in an uproar. A passage was opened. Then, Yi Baolin followed many experts of the Yi family. Yi Zijin was also among them. She was particularly dazzling. Qin Zongqiong's expression slightly changed. He looked at Yi Baolin and said, "City Lord, the Yi family is in trouble. We just want to help." "Ha!" Yi Baolin laughed. His laughter was filled with indifference. He was completely different from his usual amiable temperament. He looked at Qin Zongqiong and said, "Everyone knows the purpose of your visit. There is no need to pretend that you don't know. That will make you seem too hypocritical." "That's right. It's better not to be hypocritical at this time." Yun Qingsung and the cracking stone demonic bear took 2 steps forward. They looked at Yi Baolin and said, "City Lord, the Yun family is more practical. If you hand over the lightning demonic lion, your Yi family will still be the city lord of the Stone City. At that time, the lightning demonic lion's secret bone will be studied by the Yun family, Bai family, and Yi family. What do you think?" "I didn't expect the Yun family to ally with the Bai family. This is really surprising." Yi Baolin's gaze fell on Bai Jiru. There was indeed some surprise in his eyes. Bai Jiru's expression was rather calm. When he heard this, he sighed slightly. There seemed to be some helplessness in his voice. He said to Yi Baolin, "Brother Yi, we have no choice. If you agree, it may be the best choice. Otherwise, the Stone City will be flooded with blood." "Qin Zongqiong, what about you? The marriage alliance with the Chao family is also for today's real purpose, right?" Yi Baolin's gaze swept across the hundreds of imperial knights in the Qin family's lineup. Finally, he looked at Qin Zongqiong. "City Lord Yi, as the saying goes, a wise man submits to circumstances. The Yi family has controlled the Stone City for so many years. It's enough. It's time to leave," Qin Zongqiong said. Yi Baolin looked at the people from the 3 great families. The indifference on his handsome face became more and more intense. In the end, he said, "It's a pity that you are not worthy. Yi Baolin, do you think that your Yi family can fight against all of us today?" Qin Zongqiong's gaze suddenly became gloomy. Boom, just as Qin Zongqiong's voice fell, a sound suddenly came from the corner of the street. A powerful aura came over. Everyone looked over. There was a herd of Fergana horses galloping over. The aura was vast and mighty. The Du family is here. Many people secretly moved their gazes. It was the people from the Du family. Du Zhenwu, Du Zhenxing, and the experts of the Du family. Even the great elder of the Du family had come. Ha, it's really lively. Seems like I'm a bit late. On the back of the Fergana horse at the front, Du Zhenwu laughed heartily. His robe fluttered in the wind. His aura was extraordinary. When the Du family and the other great families stood together outside the Yi family, Qin Zongqiong looked at Du Zhenwu and asked loudly, "Du Zhenwu, is your Du family really going to help the Yi family?" From the recent relationship between the Du family and the Yi family, everyone already regarded the Du family as an ally of the Yi family. The Du family was here to help the Yi family. As a citizen of the Stone City, of course I have to do something for the Stone City. I just can't bear to see the Stone City turn into a river of blood. Du Zhenwu said. Although his words weren't very clear, the meaning of his words was very clear. Qiu Qingsong looked at Du Zhenwu with a cold gaze. It was time to settle the score with the Du family today. Du Zhenwu, your Du family has only risen in the Stone City for a dozen years. Do you really think you can be on the same level as us? Ridiculous. Qiu Qingsong, according to what I know, my Du family has been living in the Stone City for many generations. In terms of seniority in the Stone City, your Qiu family is nothing. Du Zhixiong shouted. As his voice faded, the Fergana horse under his feet raised its head and neighed. It was very domineering. Overestimating yourself. The evils you bring upon yourself are the hardest to bear. Qiu Qingsong shouted coldly. Brother Du, many thanks. If today's matter is settled, my Yi family will owe the Du family a big favor. Yi Baolin raised his head and nodded at Du Zhenwu. His handsome face was filled with gratitude. Du Zhenwu raised his head and looked at Yi Baolin. He then asked, "I wonder if my nephew Xiaofu is doing well." Yi Baolin was stunned. Then, as if he understood the meaning of Du Zhenwu's words, he smiled and said, "Brother Du, don't worry. Xiaofu is doing well in the lightning pool. He has already broken the record and there are no signs of him coming out. He probably obtained the most benefits in history. Even if today's matter didn't happen, if he left the lightning pool, he would still be safe and sound." Broken the record. In the crowd, Qiu Long, Qiu Hu, Bai Cai and the others heard this and their eyes secretly fluctuated. It's time for the 6th watch. There will be new updates today. There will be a big explosion. Chapter 86. Translator, H2DH2 Mr. With these words from City Lord Yi, my Du family's trip here today was worth it. I'm ashamed, Du Zhenwu smiled bitterly. He had been worried that the Yi family might have detained his nephew. Looks like he had worried too much. Ha, Brother Du is a straightforward person. How is worrying for your family being petty? Rather, you value relationships and loyalty. You're much better than some people. Yi Baolin laughed heartily. Yi Baolin, do you really think that the addition of the Du family can change anything? I'll ask you one last time. What we want, are you going to hand it over or not? Qin Zongqiong's face darkened. Rumble. Within the lightning pool, lightning flashed like silver snakes. Bolts of lightning flashed, and the rumbling of thunder resounded endlessly within the lightning pool. It was extremely shocking. In the middle of the lightning pool, there was a lightning ball wrapped in lightning. The violent power of lightning was like countless silver snakes wrapped around it, continuously surging into it. It was as if there was something terrifying within the lightning that was absorbing the shocking power of the lightning pool at this moment. This phenomenon seemed to have been going on for quite some time already. Crack, crack. As time passed, suddenly, the lightning ball finally began to crack open. A figure wrapped in golden light and covered in lightning appeared within the lightning pool. At this moment, this figure was surrounded by rings of golden talisman light. Countless mysterious runes flickered within the golden light. Even in this cave that was flashing with lightning, it appeared to be glittering with golden light. A domineering and ferocious terrifying aura spread out for no reason, enough to make 10,000 beasts tremble. In a short instant, when the golden talisman symbols arranged themselves to form the shadow of a golden winged rock, its terrifying aura reached its peak. Whoosh! Immediately after, the golden winged rock shadow seemed to be injected with life. The golden rock feathers on the shadow were all connected to the lightning within the lightning pool, absorbing the terrifying power of lightning into the shadow. Screech! The golden winged rock shadow screeched, wanting to spread its wings and soar into the sky. Its domineering ferocity was terrifying. That figure stood on top of the lightning pool. At this moment, his entire body was strangely connected to the lightning. Behind him, the shadow of a golden rock flapped its wings. At this moment, the figure felt like a human-shaped golden-winged rock. It was domineering, powerful, and terrifying. It was like a supreme demonic beast's cub that was starting to grow. Sooner or later, it would be able to soar into the heavenly realm, peerless under the heavens. Rumble. Suddenly, the figure moved. His arms moved, and the golden-winged rock's shadow flapped its wings as well. It slapped the lightning pool, causing countless bolts of lightning to fly everywhere. Thunder and lightning energy surged, and countless bolts of lightning surged into the figure and into the golden rock phantom. Halala! At this moment, half of a beast bone was revealed from the clothes of that figure. It was actually also absorbing the lightning energy in a leisurely manner. Within the entire lightning pool, the violent power of lightning was being absorbed in large amounts. In the end, it absorbed all the lightning energy in the lightning pool at a terrifying speed. Within the entire lightning pool, the lightning disappeared. The golden talisman engravings shone brighter, like the sun rising from the east. Golden feather refinement, body refinement. Within the golden talisman engravings, the figure suddenly shouted. His hand seals changed, and the shadow of the golden-winged rock behind him changed unpredictably. At one moment, it flapped its wings and soared into the sky. At the next moment, it looked like it was looking down on everyone. Then, the shadow of the golden-winged rock transformed into talisman engravings. Following that, it rearranged itself and formed another shadow of the golden-winged rock. Screech! The last shadow of the golden-winged rock roared. It was as if thunder was rumbling. The mysterious talisman engravings spat out, and its aura was domineering and ferocious, the race of the golden-winged rock. I never thought that I would be able to see the aura of the golden-winged rock. And it's on a human. This is unbelievable. Within the lightning pool, a surprised voice could be heard. Then, it disappeared and calmed down. Within the lightning pool, the shocking commotion began to calm down. The shadow of the golden-winged rock began to disappear. Then, Du Xiaofu's figure appeared within the lightning pool. Du Xiaofu's eyes were tightly shut. His exposed skin began to glow with a dazzling golden color. The depth of this color was much stronger than before. The talisman engravings engraved on his body. One could even faintly see the silver lightning within them. Boom! Suddenly, the aura around Du Xiaofu's body fluctuated. It was as if he had been suppressing something. At this moment, he could finally release it. Hua la la! As the aura around Du Xiaofu's body fluctuated, the lightning pool began to ripple once again. However, for some unknown reason, the liquid within the lightning pool had become extremely thin. Du Xiaofu stood above the lightning pool. He did not move at all. His expression was solemn. In the surrounding space, waves of strange energy spread. Finally, it surged into Du Xiaofu's body, causing a golden circle of light to spread around him. As more and more energy poured into Du Xiaofu, a vortex formed around him. Waves of energy surged violently. An aura spread out from Du Xiaofu's body. The aura grew stronger and stronger. In the end, when the aura reached a new height, it began to stabilize and solidify. Voila, the vortex gradually weakened. Then, it slowly dissipated. At the same time, the golden talisman engravings around Du Xiaofu's body also fluctuated and entered his skin. Finally, they disappeared. When the aura completely stabilized, Du Xiaofu's tightly shut eyes rippled slightly. Then, he slowly opened them. Qi La. The moment Du Xiaofu opened his eyes, a powerful aura swept out from his body. In his clear eyes, a dazzling golden light shot out. It was sharp and overbearing. After a moment, the golden light retracted from Du Xiaofu's eyes, causing his eyes to become deep. In the end, they slowly regained their clarity. Is this the Xiantian full circle? Feeling the changes in the spirit gate in his body, Du Xiaofu's face could not help but curl into a smile. He did not expect to successfully break through from the Xiantian Nirvana realm to the Xiantian full circle in the lightning pool. When the younger generation of the 5 great clans competed, Du Xiaofu had just broken through to the Xiantian Nirvana realm. At this moment, he was able to break through again in just 10 days. With such a breakthrough speed, how could Du Xiaofu not be satisfied? He even followed Jin Qingquan's advice and tried his best to suppress the speed of his breakthrough. And all of this, Du Xiaofu knew that a large part of the reason was related to his physique cultivation technique. This was because the cultivation in the lightning pool this time had not only allowed him to break through from the Nirvana realm to the consummate innate realm, but his greatest gain was that he had finally completed the first level of the golden feathered great rocks cultivation method. He had finally completed the golden feather cultivation technique and entered the second level of bone washing and marrow cleansing. And because he had broken through to the level of tempering his golden feather in the body transformation method, in addition to the energy contained within the thunder pool, his cultivation level had taken another step forward. This was something that Du Xiaofu hadn't imagined or expected. As he felt all the changes in his body, Du Xiaofu felt that if he were to meet Chao Qitai again, he should be able to send him flying with a slap. In addition, he had entered the second level of bone refining and marrow cleansing, which was enough to easily trample on Chao Qitai. The Yi family's lightning pool was not in vain. Du Xiaofu smiled and stretched his body. Then, he looked around the lightning pool and said softly, "May I ask if Senior Thunder Lion is here?" "I would like to thank Senior Thunder Lion." His voice reverberated in the cave, but there was no reply. The cave was extremely quiet. "How did you know that this Lion King was here?" After a short period of silence, a deep voice rang out. The old voice had a domineering aura. Upon hearing the ancient and tyrannical voice, Du Xiaofu's gaze flickered as he replied, "The lightning energy in the lightning pool originated from Senior Thunderous Lion. Since there's someone helping me, I think that other than Senior Thunderous Lion, there shouldn't be anyone else here." "Haha, human, not only do you have talent, you are also very smart." A deep laughter rang out, but there was a faint aura of twilight. "I thank Senior Thunder Lion for his help," Du Xiaofu said to the people around the lightning pool. He could hear the voice, but he didn't know where the Thunder Lion was. He couldn't even sense its existence. "Anyway, I don't have much time left. To be able to help you at the last moment is your fate." The deep voice echoed in the lightning pool. Then, it asked in a low voice, "Kid, tell me. You are clearly a human. Why do you know the cultivation techniques of the Golden Rock clan? How can a human learn the cultivation techniques of the demonic beasts? It's a long story. I'm afraid that I can't explain it clearly in a short time." Du Xiaofu replied. "Then tell me. It's not bad to have someone to talk to at the last moment. Moreover, it's a strange human kid who learned the cultivation techniques of the Golden Rock clan. Interesting." As the deep voice fell, under Du Xiaofu's rather surprised gaze, the stone walls of the cave rumbled and flashed with electricity. In the end, a stone door was opened. Du Xiaofu looked at the stone door. Without much hesitation, he stepped in. In the square outside the Yi clan, the atmosphere was tense. As Qin Zongqiong's voice faded, everyone, who had been waiting for Yi Baolin's reply, turned their gazes towards Yi Baolin. However, Yi Baolin's gaze was still cold and indifferent as he said, "I have said that you are not qualified." "Humph, a small stone city. If you don't obey, my flowing cloud county will trample you." Chapter 87. Within the Qin family, in front of the hundreds of knights, a burly man in armor stepped forward. With a wave of his sleeve, a vast and mighty aura surged. Countless symbols spread around his body and gathered behind his back. Finally, they transformed into a completely black wolf silhouette, as if it was alive. "Ao!" The wolf silhouette roared, the sound waves shaking the heavens, causing the mounts of the various great families to be alarmed and want to prostrate themselves. The black flame demon wolf's vain spirit is extraordinary. Who is this person, an elite from the flowing cloud county? I didn't expect him to be at the perfect pulsating stage. Following this person's instantaneous attack, the elites of the various great families were shocked. A perfect pulsating stage cultivation was definitely at the top in the entire stone city. Let's see if your Yi family has the ability to contend against him. The burly man in armor roared loudly, his feet dashing towards Yi Baolin. It was as if he had merged with the black flame demon wolf behind him. His might was frightening and astonishing, causing one to tremble. Boom! Suddenly, the instant the burly man approached Yi Baolin, a low and deep muffled sound suddenly rang out. Under the gazes of the crowd, an energy symbol light pillar with a lightning glow violently smashed into the body of the burly man in armor. Subsequently, the crowd watched as the burly man in armor flew backwards, violently crashing into the ground. Sparks flew from the friction of his armored body on the ground, creating a deep crack in the ground. Ugh! When his body stabilized, the burly man in armor spat out a mouthful of fresh blood, his face filled with shock. Who is it? Everyone was shocked as gaze after gaze landed on the body of the burly man in armor. Who was actually able to so easily heavily injure a perfect pulsating stage practitioner in one move? It was likely that this person's strength had definitely reached the pulse spirit level. Although the stone city is small, it is still not the place for outsiders to flaunt their strength. Public morals are deteriorating day by day and the hearts of the people are no longer what they used to be. I never imagined that today, someone would actually invite a wolf into the house. What a pity, what a pity. A regretful voice slowly sounded out. In the direction where the runic lightning had swept out, a rather old figure floated in the air and floated there. Everyone's gazes were tightly focused on the old figure floating in the air. It was an old man who was close to 70 years old. His hair was neatly combed into a bun, and there seemed to be faint lightning flashing around his body. A powerful pressure that far exceeded the pulsation stage level unfurled from the elderly figure like a storm. Roar, oh! Under such pressure, in the square outside the Yi clan, the demon beast mounts of the various great clans roared and became restless. The figures of the people swayed left and right, and all of them revealed expressions of shock. Hovering in the air, that's the pulse spirit realm. Yi Guang, he's Yi Guang from the Yi clan. He's been missing for more than 20 years. It's rumored that he died long ago. Why is he here? The Yi clan has always been prepared. Other than Yi Baolin, the Yi clan also has an expert like Yi Guang. The crowd was in an uproar. To think that an expert from the Yi clan was still alive in this world. A pulse spirit realm expert was enough to suppress everyone present. Since you're all prepared to move, come out. After waiting for so long, you must be tired, right? Yi Guang hovered in the air, not paying much attention to the members of the various great clans on the ground. Instead, his gaze swept across the surrounding air. His voice slowly spread out, but it was incomparably tyrannical and powerful. Ha, Yi Guang, you're still alive. It's good that you're not dead. It's rare for us old people to gather together. Two more voices rang out in the air above the stone city. As the voices slowly faded, two more figures appeared in the air. On the left, a tall and well-built old man in long robes stood in the air. He looked to be in his 50s, and traces of lightning aura undulated around his body. The one on the right was an old man. He looked at Yi Guang and softly muttered, "They're finally here. The stone city has been peaceful for so long. Today, it will no longer be peaceful. By the way, you've also been waiting. You've even joined forces with the Lao clan. This isn't your usual style." Yi Guang looked at the old man. The latter had come from the direction of the Bai clan. "I have no choice." The old man only replied with two words, a somewhat helpless expression flashing across his face. "Yuan Shihong, what about you? Back then, you entered the lightning pool and received the lightning ancestor's kindness. Today, you want to repay kindness with enmity?" Yi Guang stared at the imposing old man coming from the direction of the Yi clan and asked. By the way, he's also an expert from the Bai clan who has disappeared for a long time. He's still alive in this world and has also reached the pulse spirit realm. Lao Shihong, it's said that the Yi clan member who endured 7 days in the lightning pool has already died. I never imagined that he's still alive in this world. Countless people in the stone city were drawn out. They looked at the figures hovering in the air and gasped in amazement. Every clan has their own foundations. Du Junwu sighed. The 5 great clans of the Stone City all had their own foundations. However, the Du clan had only risen for a dozen years and could not compare to the foundations of the other clans. What do you mean by repaying kindness with enmity? The Yi clan has controlled the Stone City for so long, it's time for a change of ownership. Lao Shihong's expression did not change as faint lightning flickered around his body. Sigh, Yi Guang softly sighed and did not say anything. He looked at the sky and said once again, "Since you're here, why hide? Ha, what a good stone city. It's truly filled with hidden dragons and crouching tigers. Looks like it's going to be lively today." As the deep laughter sounded out, a dazed figure descended from the sky and landed on the ground of the square. A terrifying pressure erupted as cracks swiftly spread out on the ground. In an instant, gales blew in the sky. It was as if all the energy in the surrounding space had gone berserk at this moment. The expressions of everyone in the square changed drastically at this moment. A middle-aged man in yellow robes landed on the square. He had a tall body, thick arms and strong chest muscles. His entire body gave off an awe-inspiring aura. "Greetings, Princess." As the man landed, hundreds of armored imperial knights on the gale snow horses dismounted and bowed. Their eyes were filled with reverence and respect. "You must be Chao Tianmong, the princess of the flowing cloud prefecture that the Qin clan found?" In the air, Yi Guang lowered his head and asked the man in yellow robes. "The land of the flowing cloud prefecture belongs to the empire. Stone City also belongs to the empire. Today, it's time for us to submit to the flowing cloud prefecture," Chao Tianmong said in a deep voice. "Technically, you're just a junior. Stone City has existed for so long. It's not something you can touch," Yi Guang said. Chao Tianmong's eyes darkened as he lifted his head to look at Yi Guang. He said in a deep voice, "A wise man submits to circumstances. If you submit, the Yi clan will continue to be the master of Stone City." What a clown. Stone City is not a place for outsiders to show off. Yi Guang's body trembled as the aura around him surged. "Humph, ignorant." Chao Tianmong snorted coldly. He then looked at Yuan Shihong and Bai Wei and said, "Why don't we work together? I want half of the Thunder Demonic Lion. You two can split it equally. Otherwise, with your cultivation at the Pulse Spirit stage, you won't be able to do anything to him." Yuan Shihong and Bai Wei looked at each other from afar. Then, As if they had reached a tacit agreement, they nodded slightly. Then let's cut the crap and start. Chao Tianmeng stared at Yi Guang and a ferocious aura pulsed around him. An astonishing aura permeated the air, which was clearly stronger than Yuan Shihong and Bai Wei's. He had actually reached the pulse spirit level. Amidst the terrifying energy fluctuations, Chao Tianmeng stomped on the ground and pounced towards Yi Guang in the air. Do it! Almost at the same time, Yuan Shihong and Bai Wei formed hand seals. Vigorous profound qi suddenly surged out from their bodies. Runes flashed and profound qi light formed behind them. Ao! Ku! Behind Yuan Shihong, a giant bird shadow that was over 10 feet in size flapped its wings. It was surrounded by the aura of lightning. Behind Bai Wei, the image of a white bear roared, and a tyrannical aura rippled out. Yuan Shihong's pulse spirit is the thunder demonic eagle. Bai Wei's pulse spirit is the sky-shattering ice bear. The two of them activated their martial veins right from the start. They're going all out from the start. Yuan Shihong and Bai Wei attacked with their full strength. They knew that they had to go all out against Yi Guang, who was at the pulse spirit stage. Rumble. The three of them attacked at the same time. The wind blew and the clouds surged. Suddenly, the earth quaked and the mountains shook. The aura was soul-stirring. Terrifying energy fluctuations spread out like a hurricane. Humph. Yi Guang snorted. Facing the simultaneous attack of the three, lightning flashed in his eyes. Above the sky, dark clouds gathered. It was as if the energy between heaven and earth was being drawn. Above the dark clouds, lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. Rumble. In a short moment, Yi Guang had used his own strength to summon the lightning. Amidst the shocking rumbles of thunder, he instantly clashed with the three powerhouses. Bang bang bang. Amidst the lightning and thunder, the crowd could only see a few blurry figures shuttling back and forth in the air. Violent energy fluctuations spread down from the sky, causing the ground to tremble and cracks to spread. The terrifying collision in the air was not something that cultivators below the pulse spirit stage could step into. If they were affected, the consequences would not be good. Attack! On the ground, Yu Qingsung shouted. With a wave of his hand, the Yu family disciples directly pounced on the Yi family. Bai Jiru's eyes moved. He then nodded behind him. The Bai family experts also pounced. Kill! Qin Zongqiong waved his hand. The golden-furred demonic wolf roared. The Qin family experts followed the hundreds of elites from the flowing cloud county and pounced on the Yi family. The Yi family disciples have never been afraid of death. The Yi family disciples were furious. They pounced forward. Profound qi fluctuated. A great battle was about to break out. Help the Yi family and protect Stone City. Du Zhenwu waved his hand. The Du family experts all joined in to help the Yi family. Du Zhenwu, your Du family shouldn't exist in Stone City. Do you really think that you can be on equal footing with us after more than 10 years? Today, I'll remove your Du family from Stone City. Chapter 88. Translator, H2DH2 Mr. Chang Qingsung passed through the crowd and pounced on Du Zhenwu. He punched out, and with the new and old grudges, he chose to attack the Du family. Chang Qingsung, you're not qualified. Du Zhenwu punched out with his fist, and violent profound energy fluctuations spread out. When the two fists collided, the surrounding space rippled, and the surrounding ground exploded into fine powder. In a short time, Bai Jiru and Qin Zongqiong appeared in front of Yi Baolin. The three of them didn't say a word, and instantly started fighting. I didn't expect us to fight in this situation. Bai Tsai looked at Yi Zijin, and the long sword in her hand was unsheathed. I didn't expect it either. Yi Zijin held a strange long whip in her hand. She poured Xian Qi into it, and the long whip emitted light. Xiao Xiao. Four eyes met, and then two graceful figures attacked together. The long whip danced, and the sword light shot out, accompanied by runes. Rumble. The sound of fighting resounded through Stone City. The collision of energy swept across the sky like thunder, and the wind and clouds surged. Stone City has changed. I don't know if the Yi family can withstand it. Inside Stone City, countless eyes looked up at the sky in the center of Stone City. There, the 4 strongest people were fighting fiercely, and the sound of fighting resounded through the sky. No matter what the final result was, everyone knew that Stone City had changed. The recent suppression had begun to break out. After today, Stone City would have a huge change from the past. Stepping through the stone door, Du Xiaofu walked along a simple staircase passage and came to a huge stone room. The surroundings were piled up with bluestones, and the room was simple without any furnishings. However, when Du Xiaofu's gaze just entered the room, his pupils suddenly shrank. In his line of sight, Du Xiaofu saw a lion several meters in size. It had a majestic physique, but the skin on its body was a little loose, making it look a little old. However, Du Xiaofu felt an intense energy fluctuation and pressure from the lion's bright eyes, which made his heart palpitate and his hair stand on end. However, this uneasiness and palpitations immediately vanished from Du Xiaofu's body. The faint golden blood that flowed through his body seemed to ripple with the aura of a sovereign, completely resisting the pressure from the lion. If not for Du Xiaofu deliberately suppressing it, the aura from his bloodline would have overbearingly counterattacked. Thunder Lion. Du Xiaofu was shocked. Based on his perception and aura, he could tell that the lion in front of him was definitely the thunder demonic lion that protected the Stone City and the Yi family. It was definitely the king of the demonic beasts. What a strange human. The aura of the golden-winged Great Rock clan. How lucky. However, if the golden-winged Great Rock clan were to find out that a human could practice their martial arts, they would hunt you down to the ends of the earth. The lion prostrated on the ground with its eyes slightly open. It spoke the language of an old man, revealing the vicissitudes of life, as if it was an old man past his prime. When a demonic beast reached the level of a beast lord, it could speak the human language. It was rumored that the Thunder Lion of the Yi family had already reached the level of a beast lord. Therefore, when he heard the lion speak the human language, Du Xiaofu was not surprised. He was only a little curious, but this curiosity was not enough to show on his face. Greetings, Senior Thunder Lion. Thank you for your help. The pressure on his body dissipated. Du Xiaofu walked into the stone room and respectfully bowed to the Thunder Lion prostrating on the ground. It was nothing. There is no need to thank me. The Thunder Lion gently looked at Du Xiaofu, as if it was an old man looking at his own grandson. Its voice was vigorous and full of vicissitudes. It said softly, I am very curious. How did you manage to practice the martial arts of the golden-winged Great Rock clan? I don't know. Maybe it was a coincidence. Actually, even now, I am not sure. I thought I was about to die, but when I woke up, I realized I was not dead. I could even practice the martial arts of the golden-winged Great Rock clan. Du Xiaofu did not hide much from the Thunder Lion, but he also did not tell the complete truth. Yes, this is an unbelievable thing. The Thunder Lion seemed to have thought of something. After pausing for a moment, it once again looked at Du Xiaofu and said, Young man, are you not afraid of me? Du Xiaofu smiled and said, Why would I be afraid? It's just that this is the first time I've met someone of your level. I am a little nervous. Young man, you are a little special. Compared to that girl Zijin, you are much more interesting. That girl is too rigid. The Thunder Lion was like an old man. Its lion eyes actually revealed a smile. It then continued to look at Du Xiaofu and said, Have you heard of me? I have. Du Xiaofu nodded and said, I heard from my uncle that the Thunder Lion Senior has always been guarding the Stone City. In these years, the Beast Kings in the Savage Beast Mountain Range did not dare to set foot in the Stone City. Those outside the Stone City who wanted to touch the Stone City did not dare to make a move. It was all because of the Thunder Lion Senior's protection. The Thunder Lion looked at Du Xiaofu. After a long time, it said, "There are not many people who are as nostalgic as your uncle. My uncle is a good person. He has always been open and above board." Du Xiaofu nodded. "Then, did your uncle tell you that I'm about to die?" "I can't hold on for much longer," the Thunder Lion asked Du Xiaofu. "He did." Du Xiaofu looked at the lightning demonic lion and said, "My uncle said that for an expert at your level, the secret bone within your body is a great treasure. So is your essence blood. Once you die, it will be enough to change the weather in the Stone City." Over the years, it seems that many people have been preparing and waiting. Whoever obtains the treasure you left behind will benefit greatly. That's right. They're all looking forward to my old bones dying. The Thunder Lion Senior lowered its head and smiled. "Then what about you? Do you want my secret bones and essence blood? If you can get them, they will be of great use to you." Du Xiaofu's heart trembled as he stared blankly at the lightning demonic lion. After which, a bitter smile appeared from the corners of his mouth as he softly said, "Honestly speaking, it would be a lie to say that I don't want it. The mysterious bones and essence blood in your body are enough to make countless experts go crazy. How can I reject such a temptation?" However, Du Xiaofu paused for a moment. He looked at the Thunder Lion Senior and said, "But I am from the Stone City. Therefore, I do not have the right to want your secret bones and essence blood. If I am not from the Stone City, I will definitely fight for them. Even if I have to use underhanded means, I will do it." "Why?" The Thunder Lion Senior seemed to be interested. Du Xiaofu looked at the Thunder Lion Senior and said seriously, "You have protected the Stone City for so many years. The people of the Stone City have received your kindness, and I have received your kindness even more. How can I want your secret bones and essence blood?" The Thunder Lion Senior stared at Du Xiaofu. After a long time, it said, "You are really a strange human. I did not expect to meet a strange human like you when I am about to die. It is a pity that I can no longer protect the Stone City. Senior Thunder Lion Senior, is there no way for you to?" Du Xiaofu's eyes trembled as he looked at the prostrating lion. It was as if he was looking at an old man who had lived his entire life. Now that he was in his twilight years, his descendants were coveting his family fortune and waiting for him to die. But at this moment, the Thunder Lion Senior was still concerned about the Stone City. It was like an old man who had lived his whole life but was still concerned about his descendants. How sad was this? There is no other way. The Yi clan has done its best. My injuries were too serious and I am about to die of old age. There is no way to reverse the situation. Everything will come to an end. The Thunder Lion Senior interrupted Du Xiaofu. Its eyes were very calm. Du Xiaofu quietly looked at the Thunder Lion Senior and did not know what to say. It was as if he was quietly accompanying an old man. The atmosphere was very lonely. The Thunder Lion Senior opened its mouth again and said to Du Xiaofu, "Little brat, you are very extraordinary. You are one of the two most talented people I have seen in the Stone City. Your talent is even stronger than the first one. The Golden Winged Rock is a top existence among the beasts. You practice the Golden Winged Rock clan's cultivation method. Sooner or later, you will be able to soar into the sky. But remember, before you have absolute strength, try not to expose the fact that you practice the Golden Winged Rock clan's cultivation method. Otherwise, you will be hunted down by both the humans and the Golden Winged Rock clan." "Thank you, Senior, for your reminder." Du Xiaofu nodded. "Well, you have been with me for a long time. It has been a long time since someone talked to me so much. In fact, other than the one from the Yi clan, I don't really like talking to humans. Maybe it is because you have the aura of the beasts on your body, which makes me feel closer to you." The Thunder Lion Senior moved his body and looked at Du Xiaofu. "Right now, there is a river of blood outside. You should go and watch the fun. It will be good for you in the future." "A river of blood?" Du Xiaofu heard this and was shocked. Qi La, before Du Xiaofu had the time to react, his eyes were suddenly wrapped by a lightning glow. It was like the entrance of a lightning space, and his body was involuntarily sucked into it. Rumble. In the square outside the Yi clan, energy collided. Thunder rumbled, lightning flashed, and thunder rumbled. Dark clouds covered the sky. Ao. Roar. The roars of the beasts made people tremble. Countless residents of the stone city looked at the sky. The shocking battlefield was filled with the smell of blood. Mournful cries echoed throughout the stone city. Puqi. Being besieged by Qin Zongqiong and by Jiru, although Yi Baolin's strength was slightly higher than the two of them, he could not withstand the combined attacks of the two. After hundreds of moves, he was finally hit by Qin Zongqiong's palm. His body flew out and blood flowed from his mouth. Chapter 89. Father. Yi Zijin, who was fighting with Baicai, saw that someone nearby was injured. Her charming face turned pale, and she hurriedly shouted. However, Baicai's sword once again wrapped around her, and the two figures continued to fight. Master Yi, if you give up resisting, maybe you can save the Yi family today. While Baijiru was talking, he didn't hesitate to attack. He threw a punch in the air, and the runes surged. Light overflowed, and the Xian Qi swept out like a storm. I'm afraid it's not enough. Yi Baolin shouted. His eyes were cold, and his fist fiercely collided, causing the surrounding air to tremble. Bang! Du Xiaofu's figure inexplicably appeared in the square outside the Yi family. When the bloody battle suddenly entered his eyes, his pupils suddenly shrank, and his heart trembled. The surrounding blood flowed like a river, and the smell of blood spread everywhere. How cruel and terrifying! Ah, there were continuous screams and wails. One figure after another fell down, and the square was dyed red with blood. Little brat, die. An imperial knight wearing armor appeared behind Du Xiaofu. A sharp sword light swept out, and slashed toward the sluggish Du Xiaofu. Xiaofu, be careful. Du Zhixiong let out a loud roar. His well-built figure charged forward, and a fist with lightning-like momentum heavily smashed onto the body of the armored figure, directly shattering the armor on his body. His body was sent flying limply, and heavily smashed onto the ground. Second uncle. Du Xiaofu came back to his senses and looked at the scene of blood flowing like a river. Many familiar Du family members fell in front of him, and his fists began to clench. All of the big families in the Stone City were involved in this. Adding on the Thunder Lion's words, Du Xiaofu immediately understood the general reason behind this. Why are you here? This place is dangerous. The Du family is involved today, and I don't know the result. No matter what, you have to quickly leave this place and leave the bloodline of the Du family. Du Zhixiong said to Du Xiaofu. No, I'm not leaving. Since the Du family is involved, I'm a member of the Du family. How can I leave? Du Xiaofu clenched his fists tighter and tighter. Looking at the many Du family disciples who were drenched in blood, his clear eyes began to turn scarlet. Swish! As soon as he finished speaking, Du Xiaofu's figure suddenly flashed out, and he instantly appeared behind the two armored burly men who were besieging Du Qi. Just as the armored burly man on the left was about to slash Du Qi's shoulder with his sword, the golden profound qi within Du Xiaofu's body surged violently, and a fist mark flashed out with a bang. Boom! Light golden profound energy whistled through the air like a storm, and then it smashed heavily onto the armored man's body and blasted the armored man flying. Young Master Xiaofu, seeing Du Xiaofu suddenly appear in front of him, Du Qi broke out in a cold sweat. If that sword had landed, he would have lost an arm. Be careful. Du Xiaofu did not stop. His body was wrapped in a faint golden light, and he was like a human-shaped monster. He immediately pounced out valiantly, and wherever he passed, no one could stop him. Xiaofu, Du Zhixiong wanted to persuade Du Xiaofu, but before he could finish speaking, two figures with two powerful auras swept over. A burly man wearing armor and an elder of the Qin family pounced towards Du Zhixiong from the left and right respectively. The burly man in armor was the first to arrive with a palm strike. Bastard! Du Zhixiong let out a loud shout. Vigorous profound qi surged out, and a fist imprint that carried a terrifying aura directly collided with the palm imprint. Boom! A terrifying profound qi shockwave swept out, and Du Zhixiong's body trembled. He hurriedly retreated a few steps, and his fist trembled slightly. The opponent's strength had actually reached such a level. Du Zhixiong, your Du family is too inexperienced. Today, your Du family will be removed from Stone City. An elder of the Qin family instantly rushed forward and pointed a finger at Du Zhixiong. Then, he and the burly man in armor surrounded Du Zhixiong. With the strength of Flowing Cloud State, Qin family, Tong family, and Bai family, the Yi family and Du family were simply no match for them. They were completely surrounded. Puchi! The battle shook the heavens, and an old man was sent flying. He staggered back a few steps before stabilizing himself. The corner of his mouth was already bleeding. It was the great elder of the Du family, Du Guangyao. Du Guangyao, you're old. You can't do it anymore. As the mocking voice rang out, a 50-year-old man walked step by step towards Du Guangyao. This person was not tall, and his head was bald. However, he had shoulder-length black hair on both sides of his head. It was extremely comical, but at this moment, his gloomy eyes were filled with killing intent. It was enough to make one's heart turn cold. Great Elder. The purple-robed young man stepped forward and stood beside the Great Elder. Then, an incomparably domineering aura rippled outwards. Xiaofu, have you come out from the lightning pool? The Great Elder was pleasantly surprised. Then, his expression changed. His old figure suddenly exploded with power and pulled Du Xiaofu behind him. He said, quickly retreat and return to the Du family. If the Du family is defeated today, take the remaining Du family members and leave Stone City. Great Elder, I won't leave. I'll stay with you. Warmth gushed out from Du Xiaofu's heart as he looked at the staggering First Elder. However, he quickly shook his head and once again stood in front of the First Elder and said, don't worry, after today, the Du family will still exist. Du Xiaofu, what a coincidence. The bald old man looked at Du Xiaofu, who suddenly appeared. After being stunned for a moment, he sneered. This genius of the Du family should be killed today to prevent future troubles. Xiaofu, leave quickly. Don't force yourself. This Yu Luo is the great elder of the Sea family. He is close to the peak of the pulsation realm. I have been in the pulsation realm for 10 years, but I haven't been able to make any progress. I can't do anything to him. Du Guangyao's eyes also showed some disappointment. Due to the limitation of his martial vein level, it was difficult for his cultivation to improve too much. Pulsation realm, Nirvana realm. Du Xiaofu's eyes twitched, but he did not leave. The pulsation realm, Nirvana realm, was even stronger than Chao Chitai. Kid, you do have some skills. Unfortunately, you are not a member of the Sea family. I can't let you live. The killing intent in Yu Luo's eyes spread. He stomped his foot on the ground and charged directly at Du Xiaofu. Vigorous profound energy also swept out, causing the energy in the surroundings to surge. Then, he appeared in front of Du Xiaofu with lightning speed. Swoosh! With a wave of Yu Luo's hand, a ray of light condensed. Runes rippled, and tiny cracks quietly appeared in the air in front of his finger. Accompanied by air ripples, they pierced through the air in a vicious manner, turned into lightning, and headed straight for Du Xiaofu's chest. When the lightning-like finger seal arrived, Du Xiaofu's eyes also fluctuated slightly. His clear eyes were already surging with coldness, and the dark golden light around his body became denser. Kid, die. Seeing that Du Xiaofu was unmoved, Yu Luo thought that Du Xiaofu was intimidated by his aura. He immediately sneered. The kid with terrifying talent and reputation in the city was finally going to be obliterated by him today. Although this finger imprint wasn't his most powerful attack, he knew that Du Xiaofu wasn't ordinary. After he came out of the lightning pool, Du Xiaofu would be even stronger. Hence, this finger imprint was executed with all his might. Chi! Under the shocked gaze of Du Guangyao, Yu Luo's guide directly landed on Du Xiaofu's chest as if there was no one there. It pierced through Du Xiaofu's body, wrapped in a faint golden light and profound energy. Then, it viciously stabbed into Du Xiaofu's chest, causing a sharp metallic sound to erupt. How can this be? When the finger seal landed on Du Xiaofu's chest, Yu Luo's sneering face, which was brimming with killing intent, suddenly changed. He felt as if his finger had collided with the hardest steel. When it landed on the skin of Du Xiaofu's chest, pain was transmitted from his finger, as if it was about to break. There was even a faint flash of lightning shuttling back and forth. In an instant, a cold smile suddenly appeared on Du Xiaofu's resolute face. His hand seal formed, and golden light blossomed from the runes in his hand. His index and middle fingers came together, and formed an identical finger seal in the simplest and most barbaric manner. A sinister cry suddenly resounded, giving him a taste of his own medicine. The finger seal rushed forward with Du Xiaofu's index and middle fingers. Golden runes wrapped around it, and the space where it passed seemed to cave in. After which, it landed on Yu Luo's chest, completely exceeding his expectations. Oh no! At the last moment when the finger seal landed, Yu Luo suddenly woke up from his action. He exerted all his strength, and his Nirvana realm aura erupted. Only then was he able to retreat a little to the side at the critical moment. However, everything was too close and too fast. Du Xiaofu's finger seal landed on Yu Luo's shoulder in the most barbaric and overbearing manner. Qi! As the finger seal landed, the golden runes destroyed the Qi halo around Yu Luo's body. Then, it landed on Yu Luo's shoulder with an unstoppable force. Immediately, a bloody hole exploded from Yu Luo's shoulder as he retreated. Blood and flesh splattered everywhere, and a bloody mist sprayed out. The golden rune force swept into Yu Luo's shoulder from the front and then burst out from the back. How is this possible? At this moment, many people in the surroundings had their eyes fixed on Du Xiaofu and Yu Luo. All of this made everyone dumbfounded. They could not believe what they saw with their own eyes. Great Elder Du Guangyao was also dumbfounded. He absolutely did not expect that Yu Luo, who even he was at a disadvantage, would be severely injured by Du Xiaofu in one move. Pfft! Blood spurted out of Yu Luo's mouth. His eyes suddenly widened, and his face was full of shock. This result was not something he had expected even if he was beaten to death. He retreated rapidly without caring about the serious injury he had suffered. Still want to escape? It's too late. Du Xiaofu seemed to have been prepared. He knew that Yu Luo would escape. With a sneer in his eyes, he chased after Yu Luo like a bolt of lightning. It's 10:00. At this moment, I'm asking for all your support, especially flowers. It's going to be published today. Subscriptions are also the most important. The rest of the updates will be released in 3 hours. In addition, if the flowers can reach the top of the list today, Xiaoyu will be in the top 2 for 5 days in a row. The flowers will be in the top 2 for 3 days in a row. Everyone, please give your flowers to Xiaoyu. Xiaoyu is continuing to update. I'll leave the rest to you. Thank you. Chapter 90. Stormy Waves Palm. As the palm struck out, the surrounding space boiled. The aura of a perfect Xiantian realm expert swept out from Du Xiaofu's body without reservation. Waves of strong wind and energy spread out like stormy waves, landing directly on Yu Luo's chest. How is this possible? How can he be at the perfected innate realm? The pitiful Yu Luo did not even have the chance to display the advantage of a pulsating realm expert before a thunderous sound came from his chest again. Pfft! Yu Luo's mouth was filled with a bloody mist. His body flew backward and landed heavily on the ground, causing the ground to tremble and crack. It was as if his internal organs were shattered. Perfected innate realm. Did he break through again? Great Elder Du Guangyao was completely shocked. Du Xiaofu was only at the nirvana realm of the innate realm a dozen days ago. However, in just a dozen days, he had miraculously broken through to the perfected innate realm. What shocked Great Elder Du Guangyao even more was that Du Xiaofu actually relied on the perfected innate realm to contend against a pulsating realm expert at the nirvana realm. It was too crazy. You want to kill me? Seems like you won't have the chance. Du Xiaofu's figure flashed forward, and he didn't stop at all. Right when Yu Luo's body was heavily injured and fell to the ground, Du Xiaofu's figure had appeared by Yu Luo's side like a bolt of lightning. A claw that was fierce like a hawk swooping down on its prey descended, and it seemed as if it wanted to tear apart space itself. Everything happened as fast as lightning. Du Xiaofu's claw print landed on Yu Luo's shoulder. Profound energy surged and locked several acupuncture points on Yu Luo's heavily injured body, causing his profound energy to be blocked and unable to move. The pain of broken bones also spread from his shoulder, as if his shoulder bones were about to be crushed. The intense pain caused a wave of helplessness to surge in Han Luo's heart. The aura of death climbed out. At the final moment, he finally opened his throat. A sharp cry resounded as he loudly cried for help, "Uncle Ma Hong, save me! Save me!" Bang bang! In midair, the four great experts were flickering about like ghosts, bringing with them dark clouds and lightning. Every time the four powerhouses collided, there would be a loud explosion. Violent energy storms would constantly spread out, resounding in the sky like muffled thunder. This kind of intense battle made people speechless. Those with lower cultivation couldn't even set foot in this place. Under the combined attacks of Chao Tianmeng, Bai Wei, and Yuan Shihong, Yi Guang found it harder and harder to fend them off. Although his cultivation was a level higher than Yuan Shihong and Bai Wei, Chao Tianmeng's cultivation and strength were definitely on par with his. It became harder and harder for him to fend off the three of them together. Qi La, in a moment of panic, Yi Guang was hit by Chao Tianmeng's punch. His body was instantly knocked back in midair. "Brat, stop!" Yuan Shihong's face changed when he heard the cries for help from below. He immediately gave up on working together with Bai Wei and Chao Tianmeng against Yi Guang. With a flash of lightning, he charged towards Du Xiaofu. "If you take another step forward, this old guy will be dead for sure." Du Xiaofu's face changed slightly when he saw the figure shooting towards him. He extended his hand and grabbed Yu Luo. His claw dug into Yu Luo's shoulder and collarbone, causing him to bleed. It was a tragic sight. "Arg!" Yu Luo wailed. He had never thought that he would fall into the hands of a junior and end up in such a sorry state. Many people in the surroundings paid close attention to the situation because of what had happened. "Brat, I've heard of you. Du Xiaofu, you're very talented. You really are extraordinarily talented to be able to reach the perfection of the Xiantian realm at your age." Yuan Shihong's imposing figure landed in front of Du Xiaofu. He was forced to stop when he saw Du Xiaofu grab Yu Luo. Afterwards, he stared coldly at Du Xiaofu and said, "However, do you really think that you can act without fear just because you have a hostage? I'll give you a chance. Release the person in your hands and I'll spare your life. Moreover, I'll let your Du family leave safely. How about it?" Du Xiaofu did not reply. Instead, he cautiously stared at Yuan Shihong in front of him. The fact that this person was able to hover in the air meant that he had clearly reached the legendary pulse spirit level. That level was something that many people could only dream of. Judging from the rippling aura around this person, his strength was extremely frightening. "Xiaofu, back off." Du Jinwu and Du Zhixiong both called out. They were shocked when they saw Yuan Shihong before Du Xiaofu. Yuan Shihong was a terrifying expert at the pulse spirit realm. However, Du Junwu and Du Zhixiong were currently obstructed by Qiu Qingsong and the others, so how could they let the two of them save Du Xiaofu? No matter how desperately they tried, they did their best to stop him. Roar! Roar! Everyone activated their martial veins and used their pulse spirits. For a moment, pulse spirit beast phantoms roared and hissed, shaking the sky as killing intent engulfed the square. Xiaofu, back off. He's Yuan Shihong from the Yun family. He's an expert who's made a name for himself over 60 years ago. You're not his opponent. The great elder also came back to his senses. His old and tottering body stepped forward to block in front of Du Xiaofu. Yuan Shihong did not even spare a glance at First Elder Du Guangyao. His indifferent gaze landed on the mesmerized Du Xiaofu as he said, "Brat, this is your last chance. Release the person in your hands. First Elder, back off. Trust me." Du Xiaofu looked at the First Elder beside him. The fact that the First Elder was still able to stand in front of him at a time like this warmed his heart once more. His gaze indicated that the First Elder did not need to worry about him. He took a step forward and looked directly at Hu Jinhong. A cold smile appeared on his face as he said, "You still don't have the right to make me release him. Brat, you don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. You'll have to pay a heavy price." Yuan Shihong's expression changed as he stared at Du Xiaofu indifferently. "Is that so? Then I'd like to see what you can do to me after I kill this old man." Du Xiaofu's clear eyes narrowed slightly as he spoke in a domineering manner. The moment he finished speaking, a right fist that he had condensed long ago directly smashed into Yu Luo's lower abdomen. Bang! With a punch, Yu Luo's force poured out in torrents as a muffled sound rang out like thunder. With his acupuncture points sealed, Yu Luo was unable to resist at all. The divine watchtower in his abdomen shattered and his internal organs shattered. Blood wildly spurted from his mouth as his life force abruptly disappeared. Under the gazes of the crowd, Du Xiaofu had domineeringly killed the first elder of the Yun clan, Yuan Shihong, in front of the number one expert of the Yun clan. Just how arrogant and provocative was this? Just how domineering was this? The great battle in the sky was silent. No one had expected that Du Xiaofu would actually dare to directly kill the first elder of the Yun clan in front of a pulse spirit expert. This was not only a slap to Yuan Shihong's face, but also a slap to the entire Yun clan's face. "Brat, you're dead meat." Yuan Shihong's face twitched as he gently looked at Du Xiaofu. His face was expressionless, but the killing intent in his eyes was no longer concealed. Du Xiaofu used Yu Luo's clothes to wipe the bloodstains on his hand, then threw Yu Luo's corpse to the ground. Of course, Du Xiaofu did not forget to take out the Qiankuan bag from Yu Luo's chest. Narrowing his clear eyes and slightly raising his sword-like eyebrows, he said, "To tell you the truth, I never took you seriously from the very beginning. The fact that I dared to kill Yu Luo proves that I don't take you seriously." Has Du Xiaofu gone mad? He actually doesn't take Yuan Shihong of the Pulse Spirit Realm seriously. How arrogant! Hearing Du Xiaofu's words, countless people in the square, who had been fighting fiercely, exclaimed in shock and amazement. "Ha ha ha ha!" Yuan Shihong laughed instead of getting angry. His laughter rolled out, and when it finally stopped, the smile on his face was naturally ice-cold. His killing intent overflowed, and even the space around him seemed to distort. Then, his figure suddenly pounced towards Du Xiaofu. His killing intent overflowed, and his aura was oppressive. In that instant, countless people felt their hair stand on end for Du Xiaofu. It was very obvious that Du Xiaofeng had provoked the Pulse Spirit Realm Yuan Shihong. Not only did he have killing intent, he had also started to go crazy. Just as Yuan Shihong's aura began to ripple, the smile on Du Xiaofu's face grew wider and wider. He did not even blink as he watched Yuan Shihong rush towards him. Roar! Suddenly, a tiger's roar shook the sky, and a gale suddenly surged in the sky. A huge flying tiger swooped down from the sky like lightning, pouncing towards Yuan Shihong who was pouncing towards Du Xiaofu. A terrifying aura swept across the sky, and the tiger's might spread, causing everyone's heart to palpitate. The tiger's roar shook the sky, and the demonic beast mounts of the various great clans below all trembled uncontrollably, their bodies trembling violently. Regardless of whether it was the Bai clan's ironback demonic bull, the Yuan clan's rock-splitting demonic bear, the Qin clan's golden fur demonic wolf, the flowing cloud county's gale snow horse, or the Du clan's Fergana dragon horse, they all prostrated themselves on the ground. Even the demonic beast mounts trembled and prostrated themselves, causing the crowd to immediately become chaotic. Many figures staggered and fell to the ground on the back of the demonic beast mounts. Yuan Shihong's figure suddenly stopped. If he did not retreat and continue attacking Du Xiaofu, he would become the terrifying tiger's food. The aura of a demonic beast that had just ascended to the pulse spirit realm from the huge tiger's body made him have no choice but to retreat. Gu. At the same time, Yuan Shihong instantly activated his martial veins, and the runes around his body spread, transforming into the phantom of a lightning condor. In the end, it carried an extremely powerful lightning aura as it pounced towards the flying tiger like lightning. Roar! The flying tiger roared and flapped its wings, causing a storm to sweep out. It pounced down like a tiger pouncing on its prey, and a tiger claw directly collided with the phantom of the lightning condor. Chi! The two collided, but there was no earth-shattering sound. Lightning overflowed in all directions, and the tiger claw was actually not afraid of lightning. It directly tore apart the wings of the lightning condor, causing a dense white lightning fluctuation to erupt from it, as sizzling sounds continuously rang out. Stomp stomp. As the lightning condor was injured, Yuan Shihong's figure flew backwards in a sorry state. With every step he took back, cracks would instantly appear on the stone floor, and his gloomy face would instantly change. Roar! The huge flying tiger roared and swooped down towards Du Xiaofu. Only then did everyone clearly see that its entire body was covered in king pattern scales, and a huge pair of wings on its back. It was ferocious and mighty, and its aura was shocking. Chapter 91. Oh my god, it's a king-scaled demonic tiger. It seems to be at the Pulse Spirit realm. This flying tiger seemed to have appeared at the Bao Lai Enterprise a while ago. Such a strong aura. It's the king of demonic beasts. That king-scaled demonic tiger seems to be attacking Du Xiaofu again. The surrounding people were shocked. The terrifying demonic tiger flapped its wings and circled, making it difficult for people to breathe. Seeing the huge king-scaled demonic tiger once again pouncing on Du Xiaofu, countless people gasped. Du Xiaofu raised his head and looked at the huge king-scaled demonic tiger swooping down, a smile appearing on his face. Suddenly, he stamped his foot and spread his arms like a giant bird flapping its wings. A burst of Xian Qi gushed out from his feet, and then his figure leaped up. With the help of the Xian Qi gushing out, his figure soared into the sky, and finally landed lightly on the back of the king-scaled demonic tiger. Roar! The king-scaled demonic tiger flapped its wings and spread out with a storm. Its huge body arched from bottom to top, and then it soared into the sky again, circling in the air. Everyone looked at the sky in shock. A purple-robed young man was standing on top of the king-scaled demonic tiger, facing the wind. His purple robe was fluttering, and he was incomparably overbearing. It's him. Yi Zijin and Bai Cai both looked at the young man standing on the king-scaled demonic tiger, and there were ripples in their eyes. Kill! Du Xiaofu stepped on the king-scaled demonic tiger's huge back, and murderous intent flashed in his eyes as he spoke. Roar! The king-scaled demonic tiger flapped its wings, and its huge body swooped down again. Its tiger claws swept out, and two cracking stone demonic bears were directly torn apart. Walala! The king-scaled demonic tiger flapped its wings, and a terrifying wind swept out. Several Xiantian realm warriors of the Sea family were directly shattered into a bloody mist. Roar! The tiger claws pierced through the air. After a pulsating realm warrior of the sea family fled a few steps, he still could not escape his fate and was directly torn apart by the king's scaled demonic tiger. Bang bang bang. In just a few breaths of time, several more Sea Clan experts were turned into a bloody mist under the horrified gazes of the king's scaled demonic tiger. They had all died under the claws of the king's scaled demonic tiger, and even more Xiantian realm experts of the Sea Clan had died. Roar! The second pulsation realm sea family member was unceremoniously swallowed into the king's scaled demonic tiger's mouth, and his head was crushed. The entire Sea Clan probably didn't have more than 7 pulsating realm experts. However, they had lost 2 in an instant. Coupled with the fact that Du Xiaofu had killed First Elder Yu Luo, the Sea Clan's strength had been halved. The King's Scaled Demonic Tiger is with Du Xiaofu. Is the King's Scaled Demonic Tiger the mount of the Du Clan? How could a spiritual pulse realm demonic beast be tamed by the Du Clan? Heavens, the King's Scaled Demonic Tiger is Du Xiaofu's mount. At this moment, even an idiot knew the relationship between the King's Scaled Demonic Tiger and Du Xiaofu. The King's Scaled Demonic Tiger had been summoned by Du Xiaofu, or perhaps the King's Scaled Demonic Tiger was the trump card of the Du Clan. More than 10 days ago, a giant tiger had appeared at the Bao Lai Enterprise and killed the 3rd captain of the Heavenly Spirit Hunting Group, causing the entire city to speculate. At this moment, the crowd suddenly realized that this was probably done intentionally by Du Xiaofu, or perhaps by the Du Clan. Their goal was to seize the Bao Lai Enterprise and weaken the Sea Clan's power. However, those who thought this way naturally wronged the Du Clan. At this moment, Du Jinwu, Du Zhixiong, Du Guangyao, and the rest of the Du Clan were all dumbfounded. They didn't even know about the existence of the King's Scaled Demonic Tiger. At this moment, Great Elder Du Guangyao finally understood why Du Xiaofu didn't even take Yuan Shihong, who was in the Pulse Spirit Realm, seriously. Yuan Shihong was in the early stages of the Pulse Spirit Realm, and the King's Scaled Demonic Tiger's aura was also in the early stages of the Pulse Spirit Realm. However, when comparing humans and demonic beasts, the demonic beasts would most likely have the upper hand. Unless a human martial artist had a treasured spirit weapon, it was impossible for them to have any advantage over a demonic beast of the same level. Bastard! Stop it! Stop it! The King's Scaled Demonic Tiger seemed to be specifically targeting the Sea Clan. In the blink of an eye, a large number of Sea Clan disciples had been killed, and 2 Pulse Spirit Realm martial artists had been killed. This price made Yuan Shihong roar in anger. His body soared into the air, and together with the Lightning Condor's Pulse Spirit, he directly pounced on the King's Scaled Demonic Tiger. How could he have known that Du Xiaofu had such a terrifying King's Scaled Demonic Tiger behind him? Roar! Unfortunately, the King's Scaled Demonic Tiger didn't listen to Yuan Shihong. In the blink of an eye, many Sea Clan experts had been killed. Boom! Yuan Shihong finally intercepted the King's Scaled Demonic Tiger. A fist frantically swept towards the King's Scaled Demonic Tiger. At the same time, the Lightning Condor's Pulse Spirit also pounced on the King's Scaled Demonic Tiger. Little tiger, I'll leave this guy to you. Du Xiaofu had already jumped down from the King's Scaled Demonic Tiger and landed on the square. With the King's Scaled Demonic Tiger dealing with Yuan Shihong, Du Xiaofu wasn't worried at all. Roar! The King's Scaled Demonic Tiger roared, as if it was responding to Du Xiaofu. Then, it began to exchange blows with Yuan Shihong. Bastard, you're courting death. Du Xiaofu landed on the square. His entire body was enveloped in a golden light. Runes surged, and he directly lifted a cracking stone demonic bear that had been suppressed by the King's Scaled Demonic Tiger's aura and didn't dare to move. Then, he threw it heavily into the distance. Bang bang! A low muffled sound rang out. Then, another 2 Xiantian experts of the Sea family were directly blasted apart by Du Xiaofu. With Du Xiaofu and the King's Scaled Demonic Tiger's attack, more than half of the Sea family's experts had already fainted. The Du family was originally not inferior to the Sea family. At this moment, they had the absolute upper hand. Bastard, I won't let your Du family off. Yu Qingsong roared and cursed. His eyes were scarlet. One could imagine the pain in his heart when he saw so many of the Du family's experts fall. Yu Qingsong originally thought that everything was going according to plan. Who would have thought that so many accidents would occur today? Not to mention that the Yi family and the Bai family had hidden experts. The Qin family had even invited the Flowing Cloud County's princess, Chao Tianmong. Finally, there was the appearance of Du Xiaofu, who had the greatest impact on the Si family. Almost half of the Si family's experts were lost. How could he not hate this? Yu Qingsong, do you think you still have the qualifications to be arrogant in front of my Du family? Ha! Du Zhenwu laughed loudly. Originally, he was worried about the Du family's people. However, at this moment, even Yu Hong of the Si family was no longer afraid. In addition, half of the Si family's experts had died. Naturally, he was in a good mood. Du Zhenwu's attacks became more and more powerful, gradually suppressing Yu Qingsong to the point where he could not breathe. Bang, bang, bang. Du Xiaofu was like a human-shaped demonic beast. Wherever he passed, his figure would fly. His aura would crush everything. His figure pounced into the Qin family's formation and the Flowing Cloud County's experts. Instantly, he became a nightmare for the Qin family and the Flowing Cloud County's experts. Quick, stop that Du Xiaofu. Many of the Qin family's experts were terrified. They joined forces with the Flowing Cloud County's experts to attack Du Xiaofu. Get out of my way. Du Xiaofu showed his prowess. His perfected innate realm aura completely exploded. His powerful body was invincible. Even pulsation realm experts could not harm his body. In this encirclement, it was like a miracle. He crushed all his opponents. One figure after another was sent flying like rocks. Finally, the three old men from the Qin clan, who all looked like elders, and the three middle-aged men who came from the Flowing Cloud County, tightly surrounded Du Xiaofu in the middle. 6 people, 4 Pulsation Realm Mystical Realm experts and 2 Pulsation Realm Nirvana Realm experts. 6 powerful auras enveloped Du Xiaofu. Roar! Roar! The 6 of them activated their martial veins. The runes around their bodies surged and condensed into their vein spirit beast phantoms. The 6 ferocious beast phantoms roared with terrifying might. The 6 of them knew that Du Xiaofu was very strong. Therefore, they used their full strength from the start. They wanted to kill Du Xiaofu as soon as possible. Bang! 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 Du Xiaofu resisted forcefully and blocked the 3 in front of him. However, the attacks of the other 3 and the 2 vain spirit beast phantoms still landed on his body. Dang! Dang! Du Xiaofu's powerful figure was also pushed back. Although he had killed Yu Luo at the start, it was actually unexpected. More importantly, Yu Luo was too careless. He did not expect Du Xiaofu's body to be so terrifyingly strong. Therefore, he suffered heavy injuries and was unable to counterattack. In the end, he was killed by Du Xiaofu. However, the 6 of them did not underestimate Du Xiaofu at all. They used their full strength from the start. In this situation, the 6 of them still worked together. No matter how strong Du Xiaofu was, he was still at the perfected innate realm. He could not fight against the 6 of them at the same time. This brat's body is very strong. Try not to get close. Attack together. Use your full strength. No matter how extraordinary this brat is, he will still die. The 6 of them informed each other. They knew each other's advantages and surrounded Du Xiaofu. The killing intent in their eyes was extremely strong. Bang! Bang! 6 Pulsation Realm cultivators attacked together with the vain spirit beast phantoms. In a short time, Du Xiaofu was at a disadvantage again. If it were not for his powerful body that had reached the bone-cutting and marrow-cleansing realm, he would not have been able to hold on. Damn it! At the innate realm, the golden-winged Great Rock clan can't use many of their techniques. I'm at a disadvantage. Du Xiaofu's face paled a little, and the corners of his mouth curled into a bitter smile. Although the cultivation method of the golden-winged Great Rock clan was powerful, he was still at the Xiantian realm. For the golden-winged Great Rock clan, there were many techniques that he couldn't use, especially many offensive techniques. This was definitely a great loss. This brat can't hold on any longer. Let's end this quickly and kill this brat. Don't hold back. This brat is very strange. We must kill him with all our strength. Okay, let's kill him with all our strength. Seeing that Du Xiaofu's situation was not good and that he was suppressed to an absolute disadvantage, the six of them revealed joyful expressions. It was as if their biggest goal this time was not the Yi clan, but to kill Du Xiaofu. Walala! The six of them formed hand seals and the runes around their bodies surged. It was as if they had merged with the vain spirit behind them. The six of them really used all their strength. 6 terrifying auras instantly enveloped Du Xiaofu. Chapter 92. At this moment, sensing the 6 terrifying auras, Du Xiaofu also felt a sense of danger. 6 Pulsation Realm practitioners attacked, and among them were 2 Pulsation Realm and Nirvana Realm practitioners. That kind of power caused the surrounding space to surge, shaking one's soul. At this critical moment, Du Xiaofu actually closed his eyes slightly, as if he wasn't the one in danger at this moment. He formed a seal with his hands, and a wave of profound energy immediately surged out from his body. It seemed as if there were talisman runes all over his body that were about to spurt out. These mysterious runes were different from those on the golden-winged Great Rock, but their auras were equally domineering. At this moment, Du Xiaofu planned to use that mysterious move. It was the mysterious move that he had comprehended from the ancient stone tablet in the past 10 years. The mysterious move within the stone tablet could not only restore one's martial veins, but also cultivate Xian Qi. It could be said to be all-encompassing, with endless changes and incomparably wondrous. Du Xiaofu had never used that mysterious move before, but he was very clear that it was far, far stronger than the perfected Stormy Wave's palm. Perhaps it could be said that the mysterious move was simply not something that the Stormy Wave's palm could compare to. Rumble. The 6 people joined forces and attacked with all their might. 6 terrifying auras instantly arrived in front of Du Xiaofu. Powerful energy waves emanated from within, causing the entire space to shake violently. Xiaofu, be careful. At this moment, countless gazes on the plaza were filled with worry for Du Xiaofu. Just as the 6 attacks were about to reach Du Xiaofu's body, suddenly, a loud shout came from Du Xiaofu's mouth. Roar. The shout was like a dragon's roar to the 9 heavens, like the cry of a divine elephant. Du Xiaofu's eyes abruptly opened, a lightning-like glow flashing within his clear eyes. The purple robes around his body instantly fluttered, and with his body as the epicenter, cracks continuously extended from the soles of his feet. At this moment, the earth rumbled and space trembled violently. The aura was so domineering and surging, incomparably disdainful, and unparalleled. In their blurry vision, only those who had reached the peak level of strength could vaguely see that after Du Xiaofu's roar sounded like a dragon's roar to the 9 heavens, like the cry of a divine elephant, the seals on his hands changed. Mysterious runes released ripples, and they quickly transformed into countless palm prints. Buzz. A Sanskrit-like low hum was emitted from within. After which, it was accompanied by the symbol mysterious rune as it streaked across the sky. In a flash, it violently collided with the 6 attacks. Rumble. Such a collision caused a thunder-like muffled sound of energy to suddenly resound in this area. In an instant, frightening energy ripples abruptly unfurled like stormy waves. At the center of the energy storm, a huge spatial energy whirlpool appeared in the space. That whirlpool seemed to be able to swallow a person, causing one's scalp to turn numb, and one's hair to stand on end. Everything happened extremely quickly, and the energy storm that was unfurling like a storm also came to a sudden stop. After which, it quickly dissipated under the astonished gazes of the crowd. Crack crack, before everyone could recover their senses, they heard 6 muffled sounds mixed with the sound of bones breaking. Everyone's vision blurred, and they saw 6 figures fly backwards like kites with their strings cut. Finally, they heavily landed dozens of meters away. The ground trembled, and cracks spread. Those 6 people were the 3 experts from the Qin clan and the 3 experts from the Flowing Cloud province. The 6 of them were sent flying and landed on the ground, dripping with blood. Their bodies were limp, and they did not get up again. Their vitality had already disappeared. Dead. Everyone's gazes were fixed on the 6 corpses on the ground. Then, their gazes shifted to the thin and tall purple-robed youth, and all of them were filled with shock. 6 pulsating realm experts were killed in one move. No one could clearly see how the 6 pulsating realm experts died. However, everyone could feel that the frightening aura that erupted from Du Xiaofu's body just now had caused the earth to rumble and space to tremble. Gulp gulp, everyone looked at each other in shock, dumbfounded. Many people swallowed their saliva. Everyone had seen it with their own eyes, but they did not dare to believe it. As for the members of the Qin clan, each and every one of them began to tremble. Half of the top experts of the Qin clan had been killed by Du Xiaofu in one move. Pft! Qin Zongqiong, who was besieging Yi Baolin with Baijiru, spat out a mouthful of blood in grief. Thud thud. Du Xiaofu's body staggered back. At this moment, the light on his body had dimmed. On the front of his purple robe, there was blood flowing out from the corner of his mouth. When that mysterious move was activated using profound energy, it actually absorbed all of the profound energy in one's body. It was like a bottomless pit, and it could only barely support one activation. Just one activation was enough to exhaust Du Xiaofu. However, the power of this mysterious move made Du Xiaofu very satisfied. Looking at the 6 pulsating realm corpses, if his cultivation was higher and his comprehension was stronger, the power of the mysterious move would increase to another terrifying level. Kill! All the disciples of the Yi and Du clans were roused. Following the death of half of the top experts from the Qin clan and Drifting Cloud County, the pressure on the Yi clan was greatly reduced. More importantly, the morale of the Du and Yi clans was increased. Du Xiaofu's appearance crushed everything in a domineering manner. It was as if a stimulant had been injected into the disciples of the Du and Yi clans. On the other hand, the morale of the Qin and Feng clans was greatly reduced. They were all shocked and terrified. That kid is Du Xiaofu, the one who injured Qi Tai. Chao Tianmeng, who was besieging Yi Guang with Bai Wei, glanced at Du Xiaofu from afar. He did not expect that the biggest change of the day would be destroyed by a kid who was still wet behind the ears. That kid who was still wet behind the ears actually changed the situation of the battle by himself. If he did not end the battle quickly, he was afraid that there would be another change of events today. Moreover, that kid must be killed. If he was allowed to grow, it would not be long before he became a great threat to the entire Drifting Cloud County. At that time, even Chao Tianmeng would not be able to suppress him. End the battle quickly. Chao Tianmeng made up his mind. His hand seals changed, and the runes around him spread out like poisonous snakes. Finally, they intertwined with each other and formed a huge black python. The giant black python's body was covered with black scales. Its aura was terrifying. Its huge body rippled with terrifying energy waves as it circled around Chao Tianmeng. Then, it left a black afterimage behind it and rushed toward Yi Guang at lightning speed. When Yi Guang saw Chao Tianmeng activating his pulse spirit, he frowned slightly. His hand seals changed rapidly. Runes surged and lightning flashed. Finally, they formed a mighty thunderbolt leopard. It roared ferociously and pounced on the huge black python. AO! The two of them collided fiercely. Their cultivation levels were almost the same. The two terrifying forces caused the space to tremble violently. It seemed like neither of them could do anything to the other. Then, the two of them staggered backward at the same time. Roar! Bai Wei instantly pounced forward. He activated the huge and mighty ice bear pulse spirit and pounced toward Yi Guang. Suddenly, Bai Wei, who had taken the opportunity to pounce on Yi Guang, saw Chao Tianmeng stumbling back. His eyes darkened. The Meridian Soul Ice Bear roared and slammed its paw on the giant black python as everyone expected. Chi La, the huge black python, was not prepared for the bear paw. It was smashed into black runes by the bear paw. Pfft! Chao Tianmeng's face turned pale. He spat out a mouthful of blood as he was pushed back. Thunderous seal. Yi Guang moved again. It seemed like he had expected this. The profound chi under his feet surged and he pushed his speed to the limit. Many afterimages appeared in the sky. Then, a palm that was wrapped in lightning quickly landed on Chao Tianmeng's body. Bang! The lightning palm pressed down, forcefully compressing the air into 4 arcs. Sonic booms continued to resound in the sky. In the end, it violently collided with Chao Tianmeng's muscular body. Berserk Fist. In his panic, Chao Tianmeng was not a weakling. He forcefully punched Yi Guang's body with a violent fist. Pfft! Chao Tianmeng was seriously injured again. He spat out a mouthful of blood. His body fell from the sky and landed on the ground. Pfft! Yi Guang's body was also sent flying. Blood dripped from his mouth. However, he did not land on the ground. His injuries were obviously better than Chao Tianmeng's, but they were both injured. Bang bang! Almost at the same time, Bai Jiru, who was besieging Yi Baolin with Qin Zongqiong, also struck Qin Zongqiong's back with lightning speed. Qin Zongqiong was completely at a loss, and directly staggered forward from the shock. Boom! Yi Baolin had already prepared a fist. He took advantage of this rare opportunity and landed a heavy blow on Qin Zongqiong's chest. Pfft! Qin Zongqiong spat out a mouthful of blood. He was seriously injured in an instant. The 3 of them were evenly matched. Once they made a mistake, the result could be changed in a short time. Many people in the square were shocked. Everything had happened too quickly. No one had expected that the Bai clan would suddenly change sides and defeat the unprepared Qin clan. Bai Jiru's scholarly robe trembled. His voice rang out, "Disciples of the Bai family, listen up. The Qin family invited the wolf into the house and brought disaster to the Stone City. As a part of the Stone City, how can the Bai family help the evildoers? Now is the time to kill the Qin family and the invaders and protect the Stone City. Kill!" The disciples of the Bai family were stunned. When they regained their senses, they immediately changed sides. They let go of their opponents and pounced on the people from the Qin family and Flowing Cloud County. Everything happened too quickly. It was so fast that the people from the Xi family, Qin family, and Flowing Cloud County could not react. Chapter 93. Not long ago, they had the upper hand. Who would have thought that the tables would turn in an instant? The Yi family and the Bai family must have planned this beforehand. Du Xiaofu frowned as he looked at the sudden turn of events. Judging from the sudden change of sides, the Bai family and the Yi family must have planned to deal a fatal blow to their opponents at the most opportune moment. The Bai family had indeed done it. With the betrayal of the Bai family, the Qin family in Drifting Cloud County had also suffered a fatal blow. I'm not afraid of how strong the opponent is. I'm only afraid of the sneak attacks of my teammates. Du Xiaofu sighed in his heart after witnessing what had just happened. If you dare to betray us, I will not let the Bai family off. Chao Tianmeng's chest muscles bulged as he glared at Bai Wei with bloodshot eyes. Chao Tianmeng had not expected that Bai Wei would sneak up on him when he was completely unprepared. Otherwise, with Bai Wei's cultivation, he would not have been able to do anything to him. Bai Wei looked at Chao Tianmeng and said, "Stone City is still Stone City. Although the Bai family wants the benefits left behind by the Thunder Demonic Lion, as a citizen of Stone City, we cannot do something like inviting a wolf into our house. Moreover, you are working with the Qin family. How can you say that I betrayed you? You are the one who is stupid. Baijiru, you despicable man. Qin Zongqiang was also staring at Baijiru. He had never expected that Baijiru would suddenly turn against him. You are the despicable one to lure the people of Drifting Cloud County to Stone City. Baijiru's profound chi fluctuated and his scholarly robes fluttered. He looked at Qin Zongqiang and said, "Moreover, all is fair in war. Stone City is Stone City after all. Baijiru, didn't we agree to work together? You went back on your word." Tai Qingsong, who was fighting with Du Junwu, roared. His eyes were bloodshot. He found it hard to accept the change in such a short period of time. Baijiru glanced at Tai Qingsong in the distance and said, "The Yi family has the conditions that the Tai family offered. I trust the Yi family more than the Tai family." Bang bang. In a short moment, there was another muffled sound in the air. Ma Yinghong's majestic figure staggered back to the ground along with the lightning condor's soul. His face was pale, and there was a faint trace of blood at the corner of his mouth. The lightning condor's soul turned into an inscription and entered his body. Roar! The king-scaled demonic tiger ferociously roared as its enormous body landed beside Du Xiaofu. It retracted its wings and assumed a pouncing posture beside Du Xiaofu, causing no one to dare to approach Du Xiaofu. However, there was a crack on its tiger claw, which was also left behind by Yuan Shihong. It's time to end this. Yi Baolin's face was rather pale. He took a deep breath and his hand seals changed slightly. His figure pounced at Qin Zongqiang like lightning. A palm print covered with a layer of thunder and lightning was covered with strange patterns. Its momentum was terrifying. In the blink of an eye, it appeared in front of the seriously injured Qin Zongqiang. Yes, it's almost over. It's time to end this. Just as Yi Baolin's palm print was about to land on Qin Zongqiang's body, a faint voice seemed to come from the distance. At the same time, a figure appeared in front of Qin Zongqiang like a ghost. Then, a palm print accompanied by a vast surge of energy collided with Yi Baolin's palm print in the blink of an eye. Humph! When the two palms collided, the sudden heavy blow directly caused Yi Baolin to continuously retreat. A muffled groan was emitted from his throat, before he spat out a mouthful of fresh blood. When he stabilized his body, his eyes were filled with shock. Swish swish, everyone's gaze fell on the newcomer. It was an old man dressed in a gray robe. His eyes were as bright and deep as the stars in the night sky. He stood there quietly, but his aura caused the profound energy in one's body to be blocked. When some of the experts in the Qin clan saw the sudden appearance of this old man, a smile instantly appeared on their solemn faces. Then, they respectfully bowed, "Greetings, Granduncle Shiping." Qin Shiping. Rumor has it that he was killed by the terrifying purple flame demonic phoenix in the barbaric beast mountain range 50 years ago. How is he still alive? Qin Shiping, he's actually Qin Shiping. Yi Guang, Bai Wei, Ma Hong and the rest all changed their expressions. Qin Shiping of the Qin clan was a generation older than them. Rumor has it that he was killed by the terrifying purple flame demonic phoenix in the barbaric beast mountain range. They never imagined that he was still alive in this world and had hidden himself until the end. With the appearance of this person, the sounds of fighting in the surroundings quietly stopped. Under the suppression of the invisible aura, a sense of danger gushed out from everyone's hearts. Du Junwu, Ma Qingsong, Du Zhixiong and the rest seemed to have a tacit understanding as they quietly stopped fighting. Their gazes quietly fell on the newcomer. At this moment, the demonic beast mounts that filled the area were suppressed by the invisible aura and did not dare to make a sound. The opposite shore of the pulse spirit realm. The Qin clan actually has such an expert. Feeling the aura of the newcomer from the Qin clan, Chao Tianmeng was also shocked. He was completely unaware that there was such an expert hidden in the Qin clan. Only now did he realize that he had been used by the Qin clan. So powerful. Du Xiaofu looked at Qin Shiping. The aura that fluctuated from his body made one's heart tremble. After waiting for so many years, it should be about time, Qin Shiping whispered. Then, he swept his gaze across the crowd. Instead of paying attention to the people present, he glanced at the king-scaled demonic tiger and Du Xiaofu. Then, he looked at Du Xiaofu and said, "What a rare seedling. No descendant of the Qin clan can compare to you. Kid, I will betroth Xiaolu to you. From now on, the Du clan and the Qin clan will be one family. I will also do my best to nurture you. What do you think?" As Qin Shiping's voice fell, everyone present was stunned. Chao Tianmeng's expression suddenly turned ugly. Qin Xiaolu was his son's fiancé, and the Qin clan clearly did not take him seriously. In the Qin clan's lineup, Qin Xiaolu, whose dress was stained with blood, turned pale. Then, she looked at the purple-robed youth beside the giant tiger from afar. She did not know why, but there was a faint look of anticipation in her eyes. What does the Qin clan mean by this? Have you forgotten the agreement with the Drifting Cloud County? Chao Tianmeng said angrily. Of the hundreds of people from the Drifting Cloud County, only a third of them were left. They had suffered a great loss. Qin Shiping glanced at Chao Tianmeng and said, "They are right. Stone City is not something the Drifting Cloud County can encroach on. Do you think that just because you are the princess of the Drifting Cloud County, you are qualified to encroach on Stone City? If I had not been waiting for this day for decades, Drifting Cloud County would not have given you a chance. Take your people and leave. The matters of Stone City are not for outsiders to interfere." What a Qin clan. Ha, what a Stone City. I will remember this. Chao Tianmeng laughed. His eyes were bloodshot. However, he was not a fool. He knew that he could not gain any advantage today. He could only plan another day. Then, he waved his hand and said to the people behind him, "Let's go." The people from the Drifting Cloud County immediately crowded around each other. Chao Tianmeng left in a sorry state and disappeared from everyone's sight. Nobody stopped Chao Tianmeng. First of all, Chao Tianmeng had the entire Stone Dragon Empire behind him. Everyone's attention was on Qin Shiping. Qin Shiping looked back at Du Xiaofu and said, "Boy, have you made up your mind?" Du Xiaofu looked at Qin Shiping. A smile appeared on his pale face as he said, "I'm sorry, I'm not interested." Qin Shiping's expression changed slightly. He said, "Boy, you better think carefully. It won't be too late to answer me after you have made up your mind. I've thought about it very carefully. I'm still not interested." Du Xiaofu shook his head again. "That's a pity. However, I won't keep people who can't be used by me. Therefore, you can only die." As soon as Qin Shiping's cold voice fell, the sound of wind breaking suddenly fluctuated. Then, his figure blurred and rushed through the space. In almost an instant, he appeared not far in front of Du Xiaofu and grabbed Du Xiaofu's throat with one hand. Roar! The king-scaled demonic tiger roared. It flapped its wings and pounced on Qin Shiping. Its talisman symbols spread and its claws tore through the air. Swish, Qin Shiping dodged the claws of the king-scaled demonic tiger like a ghost. Then, he slapped the king-scaled demonic tiger with his palm. The king-scaled demonic tiger flapped its wings and retreated. "Bastard, you're still a little short," Qin Shiping shouted as he stood in the air. His palm turned into a fist and landed on the left wing of the king-scaled demonic tiger. Bang! The punch landed with a thunderous boom. The king-scaled demonic tiger's left wing was struck by the force of gravity, and its huge body was knocked back. Its huge body staggered and landed on the ground. Its left wing was in pain, and it let out a ferocious roar. "I'll kill you first. Then, I'll take the Thunder Lion's bone." Qin Shiping continued walking towards Du Xiaofu. His killing intent was surging. Xiaofu, be careful. Du Zhenwu, Du Zhixiong and even Bai Jiru rushed towards Qin Shiping at the same time. You're overestimating yourselves. Qin Shiping sneered indifferently as his expression turned completely dark. With a wave of his sleeve, a terrifying wave of energy slammed into Du Zhenwu, Du Zhixiong, and Bai Jiru from afar. Boom! Du Zhenwu, Du Zhixiong, and Bai Jiru were blown away like kites with broken strings. They smashed into the wall of the Yi family's courtyard, causing the wall to crack. The courtyard finally couldn't withstand the huge impact and collapsed. Let's work together. Yi Guang's eyes darkened as he glanced at Bai Wei. The two of them immediately pounced on Qin Shiping. Now that things had come to this, they could only join forces and fight. Roar! The two of them used all their strength and activated their arterial spirit again. The huge sky-shattering ice bear and thunder leopard phantoms surrounded Qin Shiping. Qin Shiping smiled. This was all his plan. He was the final winner. Brothers, it's time for the 14th hour. There will be more in 3 hours. Continue to ask for flowers and support. Thank you. Chapter 94. Since it's like this, then I'll take care of you all together. I might have valued you a little more when you were at your peak, but now you're all spent and can't even withstand a single blow. Qin Shiping's gray robes fluttered despite the lack of wind as an astonishing wave of profound energy swept out like a storm, causing huge cracks to appear in the courtyard and plaza of the Du family below. Whoosh! In a short instant, Qin Shiping's arms trembled as runes wrapped around his fists. 2 fist imprints instantly transformed into 2 blurry rays of light that shot out like lightning, landing directly on the illusory figures of the sky-shattering ice bear and lightning leopard. The 2 illusory figures were directly shattered. At the same time, Qin Shiping's figure appeared in front of Yi Guang and Bai Wei. 2 palm imprints once again landed, followed by 2 low muffled sounds that suddenly resounded. Bang bang! Vast and mighty energy swept out in mid-air, transforming into an extremely terrifying energy storm that instantly filled the air. Whoosh! Under this terrifying energy storm, everyone present was terrified and shocked. Bang bang! Under the gazes of the crowd, the 2 great experts, Yi Guang and Bai Wei, were also ruthlessly smashed down from mid-air, heavily smashing into the ground. Can't even withstand a single blow. The older the ginger, the spicier it is. I've waited for 50 years, and the Lightning Lion's remains will be mine. Today, I'm destined to be the final winner. Qin Shiping stood in mid-air, his laughter resounding throughout the Stone City. The entire Stone City's millions of citizens raised their heads to look at the sky, the vast and mighty energy waves causing the entire Stone City to tremble. The plaza was completely silent, the smell of blood lingering in the air. Everyone's gazes were solemn, except for the Qin family members. Looking at Qin Shiping in mid-air, everyone knew that at this moment, no one could contend against this person. The various great families had fought until both sides suffered great losses. The battle had been full of ups and downs, but at this moment, it was already a foregone conclusion. How can it be like this? Qiu Qingsong, Zhuolong and the rest were stained with blood, their gazes dispirited. They had originally thought that the Qiu family had already made their final preparations and would definitely be able to obtain the Yi family's Lightning Lion's remains. Who would have thought that today's series of unforeseen events would be out of the Xi family's control? Everything was out of their expectations. Everything went down the drain. They had schemed against the major clans, but in the end, they did not expect that the Ji clan had already been schemed against. In the end, the Ji clan would not be the one to reap the rewards. What was left behind by the Thunder Lion is not yours, because you are not qualified. The king-scaled demonic tiger flapped its wings again and circled in the air. A young man in a purple robe stepped on top of it and appeared in front of everyone's eyes. His indifferent voice was carried by the wind and resounded throughout the area. That's Du Xiaofu from the Du clan. Could it be that he still wants to stop that terrifying expert from the Qin clan? Everyone in the city raised their heads and fixed their gazes on the purple-robed youth on the back of the king-scaled demonic tiger. Brat, you're really surprising me more and more. Do you really think you can stop me? Maybe you want to compete with me for the Thunder Lion's inheritance? Qin Shiping laughed. His laughter was filled with disdain and mockery. You are not qualified. I am not qualified either. Du Xiaofu looked at Qin Shiping and shook his head. He looked calm and said, none of the people from the Stone City are qualified. The Thunder Lion has been protecting the Stone City for hundreds of years. In these hundreds of years, the Stone City has never been invaded by the beasts from the Savage Beast Mountain Range. For hundreds of years, the Stone City has been peaceful. All the residents of the Stone City have been living in peace and contentment. Today, the Thunder Lion is about to die, but you have been scheming for the Thunder Lion's bones and essence blood. How disappointing this is. His calm voice resounded clearly in the air. As a resident of the Stone City, who has the qualifications to touch the Thunder Lion's bones? The Thunder Lion, is it the legendary Thunder Lion that is protecting the Stone City? So today, there are people who want to compete for the Thunder Lion's mysterious bones and blood. At that moment, these calm words fell into the ears of everyone in the square. Everyone's facial expression changed and their eyes trembled. How bitterly disappointed. Du Zhenwu, Du Zhixiong, Bai Jiru, and the others looked at each other and sighed. Lei Zhu has protected the Stone City for hundreds of years. The Yi family will not let anyone touch the mysterious bones and blood after Lei Zhu's death. The Yi family's disciples will not let Lei Zhu's body be incomplete. Even if we die, we will protect Lei Zhu. Yi Baolin's handsome face had blood dripping from the corner of his mouth. He looked at the sky with his scarlet eyes. Du Xiaofu looked at Qin Shiping. On his resolute face, his eyes gradually became sharp and intimidating. An invisible cold aura spread out. Under this cold aura, even the surrounding air seemed to have frozen. Everyone, listen up. I, Du Xiaofu, know that my cultivation is weak today. However, I have received the Thunder Lion's favor. Today, whoever dares to have any ideas about the Thunder Lion, I will not let them go in the future. I will definitely turn their bones into ashes and destroy their souls. When the cold words came out, it was like a muffled thunder. It was as if a bone-chilling cold aura had spread out. That invisible cold aura spread out like a tide, causing people's hearts to tremble. Everyone was moved by it. Yi Zijin looked at the young man in the purple robe in the air. Her eyes were moist. Yi Guang looked up and murmured, the Yi family's disciples are not as good as him. This kid is the same as the third brother. The men of the Du family should be like this. Du Zhenwu and Du Zhixiong looked at each other. Their eyes trembled as they murmured, but he is too bold. Kiki. Qin Shiping was stunned. Suddenly, he laughed coldly. His killing intent shot out and he said in a deep voice, Ant-like kid, you have no future. Now, go to hell. When the killing intent came out, Qin Shiping glanced at Du Xiaofu. His figure moved and instantly appeared in front of the king-scaled demonic tiger. His figure rushed out and his 5 fingers stretched out. A claw print directly grabbed at Du Xiaofu. Roar! As Qin Shiping's figure rushed over, the king-scaled demonic tiger roared. Its eyes flashed with ruthlessness. It was going to fight with all its strength. Suddenly, in a flash, a thunderbolt light suddenly appeared in front of Du Xiaofu and the king-scaled demonic tiger. The thunderbolt light directly wrapped around Qin Shiping's claw print. At the same time, a deep and old voice came out, I like this kid very much. If you want to kill him, you are far from qualified. The old voice was domineering and powerful. The moment the thunderbolt light wrapped around Qin Shiping's claw print, Qin Shiping's old face suddenly changed. He suddenly raised his head and looked at the figure wrapped in the thunderbolt light. The terrifying aura that spread out was so strong that it made his heart tremble. Then, as if he felt the most terrifying thing, Qin Shiping cried out in shock, "Thunderbolt demonic lion, why are you fine? Shouldn't your time be up? My time is up. Why are all of you so anxious to jump out?" In the thunderbolt light, a majestic lion stood in the air. In the thunderbolt light, intense energy fluctuations and pressure spread out, causing people's hearts to palpitate for no reason and their hair to stand on end. Boom! The thunderbolt light surged and the surrounding air was like thunder. The energy fluctuations were like the descent of the thunder god. Chi chi chi. Qin Shiping's body was directly sent flying. He had no power to resist. That's the thunderbolt demonic lion. The thunderbolt demonic lion does not have a time limit. It still exists. So that's the thunderbolt demonic lion. What a strong aura. Following the sudden appearance of the thunderbolt demonic lion, shocked voices rang out one after another in the stone city. The gazes of the various large families also changed. The Qin family, Bai family, Feng family and the rest all had complicated gazes. The thunderbolt demonic lion had always been rumored in the stone city. The most shocking thing was that the thunderbolt demonic lion had already reached the beast lord stage. That was equivalent to the human martial lord stage. Now that the thunderbolt demonic lion had appeared again, one could imagine the extent of the shock. Leizu has appeared. Looking at the majestic lion in the air, the Yi family disciples trembled in excitement. That was the legendary existence that had always protected the stone city and the Yi family. How can you be fine? You're purposely pretending that your time is up. You're purposely trying to catch all the people who are harmful to the Yi family. Qin Shiping's gaze trembled. A beast lord stage demonic beast king was definitely not something he could contend against. The news of a beast lord stage thunderbolt demonic lion still being in the stone city was enough to shock countless forces around the stone city. If he had known that the thunderbolt demonic lion was only pretending to die, he would not have dared to come out and take the secret bone. You said that the older the ginger, the spicier it is. But compared to me, you're still a little tender. The thunderbolt demonic lion spoke in the language of an old man. Its voice was filled with vicissitudes of life. Its body was wrapped in lightning and dark clouds faintly gathered. Its aura was extremely powerful and terrifying. It opened its mouth and said, "Today, I can't let you live." Not good. Qin Shiping felt the killing intent from the thunderbolt demonic lion. He did not dare to stay any longer and immediately rushed to escape. The Qin family members had no choice but to abandon them. In front of this lion king, you're just an ant. The thunderbolt demonic lion's expression was calm. It suddenly stretched out its right leg and fiercely slammed it into the air. Chi la la. At this moment, the energy in the air suddenly shook violently. Lightning flashed and thunder rumbled in the sky. A lion claw swept out in a straight line. It was like a bolt of lightning descending. The space in front of it instantly collapsed. A large space ripple turned into an earth-shattering space wave that rippled outwards. A destructive aura enveloped the entire city rumble. The thunderbolt demonic claw directly melted the space and finally chased after Qin Shiping's back. A monstrous energy spread out in an instant, causing a large area of space to distort. Lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. The space trembled violently and the sound reverberated throughout the entire city. Chapter 95. This terrifying momentum caused the millions of eyes in Stone City to tremble. The destructive power swept out as Qin Shiping's body stopped in midair. The runes around his body surged wildly, as if to block the power of thunder. Bang! But it only lasted for the blink of an eye. With a bang, the space split open, and Qin Shiping's divine region suddenly exploded in midair. Walala! Instantly, a large bloody mist accompanied by monstrous energy poured down from the sky. The energy spread out and engulfed the entire city. Countless people stared at the sky in shock. The powerful Qin Shiping had been instantly killed by the lightning lion without any resistance. From this, it could be seen how terrifying the lightning lion's strength was. The king-scaled demonic tiger circled in midair. Its tiger eyes trembled as it looked at the lightning lion in front of it. That aura made it feel a sense of danger. On the king-scaled demonic tiger's back, Du Xiaofu's eyes trembled. Qin Shiping, who was at the pulse spirit stage, was unable to resist at all. This was a true powerhouse. The lightning lion that guarded Stone City was so powerful. Scourge of Stone City, leave none alive. After killing Qin Shiping, the lightning lion did not delay much. It looked down and its lion claws fell. A bolt of lightning also fell. Oh no! In the square, Yuan Shihong's expression changed greatly. The lightning lion's bolt of lightning was actually sweeping towards him. A vast and powerful aura enveloped Yuan Shihong, making it impossible for him to break free. Only now did he realize that everything had been planned and arranged. In the end, he realized that everything was still under the control of the Yi clan. The Yi clan was the final winner. Bang! A deep sonic boom resounded. Lightning fell and Yuan Shihong's body was directly shattered into pieces. The surrounding ground cracked and spread. Large buildings in the distance tottered and finally collapsed. A vast aura spread out like a hurricane. Bang bang! 2 more bolts of lightning fell, shocking everyone. Yun Qingsong and Qin Zongqiong, who were in the square, did not have time to react before they were instantly swallowed by the lightning and killed on the spot. The space was silent. Countless gazes were shocked. This was the lightning lion's slaughter. Brat, you've got guts. Are you alright? The lightning around the thunderbolt demonic lion retracted as its aged eyes looked towards Du Xiaofu. The light in its eyes spread out, causing the king-scaled demonic tiger to tremble. However, in the face of the thunderbolt demonic lion's immense pressure, the king-scaled demonic tiger still managed to persevere. This caused the thunderbolt demonic lion to be a little surprised. Senior Thunder Lion, are you alright? Du Xiaofu came back to his senses and looked at the Thunder Lion in surprise. The Thunder Lion didn't answer Du Xiaofu's question directly. It looked at Du Xiaofu with a smile in its eyes and continued to speak in the language of an old man. I like you, little brat. I really do. As soon as he finished speaking, the thunderous lion's body soared into the sky and disappeared from everyone's sight. Yi Guang looked at the thunderbolt demonic lion's majestic back in surprise. Then, he came back to his senses and swept his gaze across the square. His voice rang out, Qin clan and Lao clan, those who surrender will be spared. Surround and kill without mercy. The Qin clan's Qin Shiping and Lao clan's Lao Hong were both killed by the thunderbolt demonic lion on the spot. The Qin clan's patriarch Qin Zongqiong and Lao clan's patriarch Feng Qingsong were also killed. The Qin clan and Lao clan had lost more than 80% of their experts. They no longer had the strength to resist. Clang clang. The remaining members of the Qin clan and Lao clan looked at each other. Some of them began to throw away the weapons in their hands. The great battle finally came to an end. However, the smell of blood that soared to the sky lingered in the city for a long time. Fortunately, a heavy downpour came that night. Not only did it wash away the smell of blood that lingered in the air above the stone city, it also washed away the remaining traces of blood that filled the square and streets outside the Yi clan. The next day, the dark clouds dispersed and the sun rose from the east. It was as if nothing had happened. Only the broken walls of the Yi clan's residence told everyone that everything that had happened yesterday had indeed happened. The Qin clan and Lao clan had already been sealed off by the Yi, Du, and by clans. They were waiting for the 3 clans to discuss how to deal with them. Within the Stone City, the news that the Thunderbolt demonic lion was still alive spread immediately. It was estimated that last night's news was enough to shake the forces around the Stone City. As long as the thunderbolt demonic lion was still alive, who would dare to touch the stone city? The next day, the stone city was bustling with activity. Many leaders of small and medium forces in the stone city, and even some leaders of hunting groups in the Savage Beast mountain range, came to visit the Du clan. There was an endless stream of people, and the scene was extremely lively. It was even more lively than the Yi clan. Many people only went to the Yi clan to congratulate the Yi clan for eliminating the Qin clan and Lao clan that had caused trouble in the stone city. Then, they rushed to the Du clan. Under such a lively atmosphere, the Du clan's doorstep was about to be trampled to pieces. Everyone in the Du clan naturally knew that the reason why the Du clan received so much attention was because of the existence of Du Xiaofu in the Du clan. On the day when the stone city changed, the most shocking thing besides the thunderbolt demonic lion was the existence of a domineering young man in a purple robe who was standing on a king-scaled demonic tiger. That domineering aura that could crush everything, especially those last words, left a mark in the hearts of countless stone city residents that could not be erased. However, under such a lively atmosphere, Du Xiaofu and the king-scaled demonic tiger did not appear again. They had already hidden away to recover from their injuries. Hugh. 5 days later, on the bed in the room, Du Xiaofu, who was sitting cross-legged, slowly exhaled. His tightly shut eyes also slowly opened. Immediately after, he felt the abundant profound qi in his body and the recovery of his injuries. On Du Xiaofu's face, there was also a trace of a smile. I didn't think that the golden-winged Great Rock clan's body refinement method would be so powerful in recovery. Du Xiaofu smiled with extreme satisfaction. At that time, he also suffered some injuries, but now, he was completely healed. If it was an ordinary martial cultivator, it would absolutely be impossible for them to do so. Suddenly, Du Xiaofu took out a beast bone from his bosom. It was the beast bone that he obtained from the Du family's martial scripture tower and the little pagoda that Jin Qingchun was hiding in. Although he felt that the beast bone was not ordinary, he did not find anything out of the ordinary from it. So, Du Xiaofu did not put it into his cosmos sack. He only kept it in his bosom, and when he had time, he took it out and studied it. And just now, Du Xiaofu seemed to feel that there was a kind of fluctuation from the beast bone. He immediately took it out and held it in his hand. He carefully examined it. The color of the beast bone seemed to be a little different from usual. There was a kind of lightning aura. However, after carefully studying it, Du Xiaofu still did not find anything out of the ordinary. Could it be that I felt it wrong? The lightning aura should be contaminated by the lightning pool. Du Xiaofu murmured softly. After he continued to put the beast bone into his bosom, he stood up and stretched. Not bad, kid. You actually broke through to the complete Xiantian realm. Your speed is quite fast. However, don't forget that the Xiantian realm is the most important level to build a good foundation. You must not be impatient. Otherwise, it will be too late to regret it. Zhen Qingchuan's voice rang out. A wave of aura came out from the little pagoda in Du Xiaofu's bosom. Then, it condensed into a human figure in the room. A wretched face appeared in front of Du Xiaofu. You still have the nerve to come out. Did you not hear me when I called you? When Du Xiaofu saw Zhen Qingchun, his face immediately turned ugly. During the battle, Du Xiaofu had contacted Zhen Qingchun, who was in the little pagoda. He wanted to ask if Zhen Qingchun had any way to deal with Qin Shiping. Who knew that Zhen Qingchun would not reply? Zhen Qingchun did not mind. He smiled and said, I did not expect that the lightning pool would have some effect on my recovery. I absorbed a little of the energy, so I did not have time to deal with you these few days. When Du Xiaofu heard this, his eyes lit up. He asked, how much have you recovered? How much can I recover? I only gained some benefits. If I want to completely recover, it will not be so easy. Zhen Qingchuan's face was calm. His tone was somewhat emotional. Then, he looked at Du Xiaofu. His inverted triangular eyebrows moved slightly. He asked Du Xiaofu, "You have seen the lightning lion, right?" "Yes, I have." Du Xiaofu nodded. He glanced at Jin Qingchen and said, "You are not thinking about the lightning lion, are you?" "I'm not interested. If the thunder demonic lion was a few dozen times stronger, I might be interested." Jin Qingchen stared at Du Xiaofu. Then, his tone softened. He looked at Du Xiaofu and said, "Although I did not have time to deal with you these few days, I know what happened. I did not expect that you would have some style. You are indeed my little brother. We're sworn brothers, not lackeys." Du Xiaofu rolled his eyes at Du Xiaofu. This guy was getting more and more boastful. If the lightning lion was 10 times stronger, how terrifying would it be? Sworn brothers and followers are the same. They are all the same. Jin Qingchen chuckled. His smile was still so special. He then continued, "However, the lightning lion's cultivation is not bad. It is at the complete level of the Beast Lord realm. If it can break through this level, it will be able to step into the Beast King realm. At that time, it will be able to form a human body and be considered a king." From Jin Qingchuan's words, Du Xiaofu guessed that after the Beast Lord realm was the Beast King realm. Then, after the Martial Lord realm, it should be the Martial King realm. So the lightning lion has reached the complete level of the Beast Lord realm. After hearing this, Du Xiaofu knew that the lightning lion had reached the complete level of the Beast Lord realm. No wonder Qin Shiping was unable to resist and was not its opponent. Unfortunately, the lightning lion's life has come to an end. Its oil lamp has dried up. It will not be able to hold on for much longer. Jin Qingchen said softly. Du Xiaofu lifted his gaze and said, "Could it be that Senior Thunder Lion was faking it? That last bit of strength was just an act." Chapter 96. That's right, it's just the final radiance of the setting sun. If there are no accidents, its time will be up in a few days, Jin Qingchen said. Sigh, Du Xiaofu sighed softly. The Thunder Lion had protected the Stone City for hundreds of years. When its time was up, it had even laid down a plan to completely eliminate the hidden dangers of the Stone City. But in the end, it still couldn't escape death. Why are you sighing? The Thunder Demonic Lion is nearing the end of its lifespan. Speaking of which, it's all because of its old illness. If it can be cured of its old illness, it will definitely regain its vitality. If it can make another breakthrough, then it will have some prospects. Zhen Qingchen said to Du Xiaofu disapprovingly. What did you say? Don't tell me you are able to heal the injuries on Senior Lightning Demonic Lion's body? Du Xiaofu's gaze immediately landed on Zhen Qingchen. What are you so nervous for? Calling a demonic beast senior? You weren't so respectful to me in the past. Zhen Qingchen pursed his lips. Thinking back to how this perverted bastard had used virgin urine to suppress evil, he couldn't help but feel angry. Brother Qingchen, you're already my big brother. Why are you so petty? I now respect you from the bottom of my heart. Hearing this, Du Xiaofu's face was instantly filled with smiles. He said to Zhen Qingchen, Tell me, is there any way to cure Senior Thunder Lion's injuries? Zhen Qingchen looked at Du Xiaofu and said, That Thunder Lion has nothing to do with you. Why are you so anxious? No matter what, Senior Thunder Lion had helped me in the lightning pool. You can consider it as me repaying my debt. Du Xiaofu's gaze wavered. Actually, he didn't know why either. Perhaps it was because seeing the Thunder Lion in the stone room was like seeing an old man who had sacrificed a lot for the Stone City. His heart was moved. If he could help in any way he could, it would make him feel a little better. If that's the case, I did receive a small amount of benefits from him in the lightning pool. Zhen Qingchen stared at Du Xiaofu. His triangular eyes turned serious as he said, That's right. The Thunder Lion is poisoned, and it's not an ordinary poison. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been so helpless. It's because of that poison that the Thunder Lion has reached this stage. What kind of poison? Du Xiaofu asked. It should be the poison of a flame poison Yao Jiao. The flame poison Yao Jiao is a type of Wyrm. It can also be considered as a branch of dragons. However, it is far inferior compared to real dragons. Even so, its bloodline is still very strong. Zhen Qingchen said, demon beasts with the bloodline of dragons are all extremely powerful. How do you know? Du Xiaofu asked in confusion. Zhen Qingchen rolled his eyes at Du Xiaofu and said, the Yi family's lightning pool contains the essence blood of the thunder lion. I also received some benefits from the lightning pool, so I know about the thunder lion's condition. So, in order to treat the thunder lion's poison, the only way is to remove the poison from the flame poison Yao Jiao? Du Xiaofu raised his eyebrows. Zhen Qingchen raised his eyes and looked at Du Xiaofu with a hint of mockery. He said, do you think that the flame poison Yao Jiao's poison is an ordinary poison? The thunder lion's bloodline is also not weak. Ordinary poisons are useless against it. However, the flame poison Yao Jiao's poison is extremely powerful. Even some top alchemy symbol masters may not be able to do anything about it. Hearing this, Du Xiaofu immediately frowned. His eyes narrowed, but then he looked at Zhen Qingchen and said, Brother Qingchen, from your tone, you must have a way. Don't keep me in suspense. He. Zhen Qingchen laughed, but his smile was really unflattering. He looked at Du Xiaofu and said, the one who has a way is you, not me. How can I have a way? Du Xiaofu was stunned, and his face was full of confusion. Zhen Qingchen rolled his eyes at Du Xiaofu and said like an old scholar, after all, you are still a rookie. You know too little. Don't forget that you are practicing the cultivation method of the Golden Winged Rock clan. The blood flowing in your body is similar to that of the Golden Winged Rock clan. Does it matter? Du Xiaofu still did not understand. Don't interrupt. Let me finish. Zhen Qingchen said bluntly to Du Xiaofu, do you know that in ancient times, the true rocks that dominated the world ate dragons? Although the Golden Winged Rock clan is not comparable to the true rocks of ancient times, the poisonous flame serpent dragon is far from being comparable to the true dragons. Therefore, you can completely suppress the poisonous flame serpent dragon. After pausing for a moment, Zhen Qingchen continued, if my guess is correct, as long as you use your blood as an elixir for that lightning demonic lion to consume, and then use your profound qi to help that lightning demonic lion dispel the poison, I believe that not only will the flame poison demonic dragon's poison on that lightning demonic lion's body be dispelled, you might even be able to obtain quite a few benefits. You have to know that the blood in your body is similar to the blood of the golden-winged great peng. To all demonic beasts, it is a great treasure. Is that so? Du Xiaofu was surprised. Someone is coming. I will enter the pagoda first. Zhen Qingchen felt that someone was approaching. He immediately turned into a wave of energy and entered the pagoda in Du Xiaofu's arms. Xiaofu, are you here? As Zhen Qingchen entered the pagoda, Du Zhixiong's voice came from the courtyard. Second uncle, why did you come personally? Du Xiaofu was surprised. He opened the door and quickly walked into the courtyard. It was second uncle, Du Zhixiong, who had come. He was carrying a jar of wine, and the fragrance of the wine filled the air. In the courtyard, the drunkard's father was still drunk and lying on the rattan chair, drinking and enjoying himself. The jar of good wine was naturally brought for him. How are you? Have you recovered? Are your injuries serious? Seeing Du Xiaofu, Du Zhixiong immediately asked nervously. His gaze was also carefully sizing up Du Xiaofu. It's no big deal. It's just a small matter. Du Xiaofu smiled. He could see that second uncle, Du Zhixiong, had not recovered from his injuries. However, it should not be a big deal. It's good that you are fine. Du Zhixiong smiled. Then, as if he had thought of something, he said, I forgot. The girl from the Yi clan is still waiting for you. She wants you to go to the Yi clan. Your eldest uncle wants you to go take a look. Okay. Du Xiaofu nodded. Then, he said to his drunkard father, Father, I will go out for a while. Second uncle can accompany you and chat. Don't drink too much wine. After speaking, Du Xiaofu immediately left the courtyard. Seeing Du Xiaofu's figure disappear from the courtyard, Du Zhixiong withdrew his gaze. He sat down next to the rattan chair and directly threw the jar of wine at Du Tingshuan's stomach. He said, Third brother, you gave birth to a good son. Du Tingxian sat up and greedily sniffed the wine jar. He lightly said, Good wine. Third brother, I am talking to you. I have discussed with eldest brother. We plan to send Xiaofu to the main clan. With Xiaofu's current talent, he can only receive the best training in the main clan. If he stays in Stone City, it will only destroy him. Du Zhixiong looked at Du Tingxian and said. Du Tingxian raised his head. His long hair covered his face as he looked at Du Zhixiong. He lightly said, Second brother, I have said before. We will never have any relationship with the main clan. Never. Du Zhixiong looked at Du Tingxian. His gaze fluctuated. He hesitated for a moment before probing, Second brother, can you tell us what happened 16 years ago? 16 years ago, you suddenly came back. 16 years ago, the main clan no longer had any contact with us. And now, you have become like this. You are no longer as high-spirited as before. Don't ask any more. The way you are now is good. It is already good. Du Tingxian lightly said. Okay, I won't ask any more. Du Zhixiong didn't ask any more questions. He had asked this question countless times over the years, but this was the first time old Third had spoken so much. Third brother, drink less wine. Eldest brother and I have been waiting. We are waiting for the old third brother to come back. After saying that, Du Zhixiong stood up and left the courtyard. Sitting on the rattan chair, Du Tingxian stared blankly ahead. After a long time, he brushed the messy hair on his forehead, revealing a handsome and resolute face. Under two thick eyebrows, his eyes were deep and big. They were unusually bright, like two twinkling stars in the night sky. This is already very good. We are very good. Ao Tong, how about you? Greetings, brother Xiaofu. Xiaofu, have you recovered from your injuries? Du Xiaofu left the courtyard. Along the way, he was greeted by all kinds of people from the Du clan. Finally, he arrived at the hall and saw Yi Zijin from the Yi clan. After seeing Du Xiaofu, Yi Zijin's tensed brows finally relaxed a little from her nervous expression. From Yi Zijin, Du Xiaofu found out that the Lightning Lion wanted to see him. He immediately followed Yi Zijin to the Yi clan. An hour later, the two of them hurriedly rode on demonic beast mounts and arrived at the Yi family. Du Xiaofu looked at Yi Zijin, who had been frowning, and finally could not help but ask, Miss Yi, may I know why the lightning demonic lion senior wants to see me? Hearing this, Yi Zijin's beautiful face slightly moved. She squeezed out a smile and said, I don't know either. Leizu said that he wanted to see you, so I went to the Du clan to look for you. Could it be the lightning lion? Du Xiaofu's expression darkened. He frowned and didn't say the rest of his words. He believed that Yi Zijin definitely understood. Yi Zijin seemed to be surprised that Du Xiaofu could guess. The trace of a smile on her beautiful face disappeared. She looked at Du Xiaofu and hesitated for a moment. Then, she opened her mouth and said, You guessed right. Leizu might not be able to make it. Du Xiaofu's expression suddenly changed. He immediately urged Yi Zijin, quickly bring me there. Quickly. Yi Zijin was puzzled. It seemed that Du Xiaofu cared more about Leizu than the Yi clan. However, she immediately quickened her pace. Chapter 97. Back in the stone room, Du Xiaofu saw the thunder lion that looked like a dying old man. Inside the stone room, Yi Guang and Yi Baolin stood respectfully to the side. Both of them looked dignified with tears in their eyes. "Little brat, you're here. You've recovered quite quickly." Seeing that Du Xiaofu had come, the Thunder Lion raised its head. Its eyes had lost their original luster. It was completely different from the soul-shaking, domineering, and valiant look it had when it killed Qin Shiping. "Senior, I'm here." Looking at the Thunder Lion in front of him, Du Xiaofu felt a sense of sadness in his heart. "I'm going to die. The oil lamp has run out. I can't hold on any longer." The Thunder Lion looked at Du Xiaofu and said, "Senior, Just as Du Xiaofu opened his mouth, the Thunder Lion interrupted Du Xiaofu and said, "I've decided. After I die, my bones will be shared by you and the Yi clan. My essence blood will also be given to you and the Yi clan. I hope you can protect the Stone City together in the future." Lei Zhu. Yi Guang and Yi Baolin's eyes trembled. They didn't care about Du Xiaofu's presence and immediately knelt in front of the Thunder Lion. Lei Zhu has protected the Yi clan and the Stone City for so many years. How can we take Lei Zhu's bones and essence blood? If Lei Zhu can't even keep his bones after he dies, how can the Yi clan face the world? Yi Baolin raised his head and looked at the Thunder Lion. "I'm already dead. What's the point of my bones?" The Thunder Lion looked at Yi Baolin and said, "Back then, your Yi clan's ancestor saved my life. It was because of me that he died so early. Otherwise, with his talent, he would have been able to achieve great things in this world. I promised him that as long as I live, I would protect the Yi family and Shi Cheng. After I die, I hope that my bones and essence blood can nurture a strong warrior for the Yi family to make up for the regret in my heart." "Lei Zhu, you can't do this." Yi Baolin's eyes were wet. He couldn't hold back his tears anymore. Yi Zijin also respectfully knelt beside her father. She looked at the Thunder Lion with tears in her eyes, making people feel pity for her. Demonic beasts are many times stronger than most humans. This Thunder Lion shouldn't die like this. A mosquito-like whisper entered Du Xiaofu's ears. Du Xiaofu could tell that it was Zhen Qingquan's voice from the small pagoda in his bosom. At this moment, Du Xiaofu's eyes were also wet. This Thunder Lion was repaying its debt of gratitude for hundreds of years. Now that his life was about to end, he actually took the initiative to leave behind his mystic bones and blood essence to repay his kindness. "I've decided." "No need to say no more words," calm the Thunder Lion signaled Yi Baolin to stop talking. Then, it looked at Du Xiaofu and said, "Little brat, I know that sooner or later, you won't be a fish in a pond. Sooner or later, you will soar into the sky and spread your wings. I owed the Yi clan's ancestor a favor, so I swore to protect the Yi clan and the Stone City. As for you, it can be said that you have received a favor from me. Today, I will give you the bones and essence blood. I hope that you can promise me that as long as you are alive, you will continue this vow for me. Is that possible?" Du Xiaofu looked at the Thunder Lion. After a while, he said, "Senior, do you have the poison from the poisonous flame dragon?" Following Du Xiaofu's words, Yi Guang, Yi Baolin, and Yi Zijin's gazes fell on Du Xiaofu. In the entire Yi clan, only the three of them knew about the poison on Lei Zhu's body. How did Du Xiaofu know about it? "Yes, it is the poison from the poisonous flame dragon. It has been hundreds of years. It has entered my body and can no longer be cured," the Thunder Lion replied. Looking at the Thunder Lion, Du Xiaofu was silent for a while. Then, he said, "Senior, I might be able to cure the poison from the poisonous flame dragon." "What? You can cure the poison from the poisonous flame dragon? Is it true?" "If it is true, no matter what the price, my Yi clan is willing." Yi Guang and Yi Baolin stood up. Their gazes were fixed on Du Xiaofu. Their eyes were full of expectation, but also suspicion. For so many years, every generation of the Yi clan had tried to think of a way. They had even secretly invited many powerful talisman masters, but they were all helpless. Du Xiaofu, can you really cure Leizu's poison? Yi Zijin stood up. Her hands subconsciously pulled on Du Xiaofu's arm. Her eyes were full of expectation. Du Xiaofu hesitated for a moment. Then, he said, I can't guarantee it, but I have an 80% chance. Please cure Leizu. As long as it can be cured, my Yi clan is willing to pay any price. Yi Guang and Yi Baolin both looked at Du Xiaofu with pleading eyes. Please cure Leizu's poison, I beg you. Yi Zijin also shook Du Xiaofu's arm and begged. Miss Yi, you have to let go of me. Only then can I treat the Thunder Lion's injury. Du Xiaofu looked at Yi Zijin and smiled. Yi Zijin realized that she had lost her composure. She was actually holding on tightly to his arm. Other than her father, this was the first time she had been so close to a man. Her cheeks were slightly red, but her mind immediately fell on Leizu's poison. She looked at Du Xiaofu with pleading eyes. I will try my best. Du Xiaofu said to Yi Zijin and the other two. Then, he looked at the Thunder Lion and said, Senior, let me try. Okay, I will let you try. Let's see what you can do. The Thunder Lion nodded. Its eyes were calm. In these hundreds of years, who knew how many methods it had thought of, but none of them worked. At this moment, to the Thunder Lion, this was just the last time. Anyway, it was going to die soon. It didn't want to die alone. Du Xiaofu, when do we start? Do you need to prepare anything? I will go prepare immediately. Yi Baolin looked at Du Xiaofu nervously and asked. From now on, you don't need to prepare anything. Just give me a big bowl. Also, when I am treating the Thunder Lion's poison, don't let anyone come in and disturb me. Also, help me tell my uncle that I will be staying here for a few days. Du Xiaofu said. Yi Guang nodded and said to Du Xiaofu, absolutely no problem. I will personally guard the door. If anyone wants to come in, they will have to wait for me to die. After a while, only Du Xiaofu and the Thunder Lion were left in the stone room. Kid, let's start. I will accompany you. The Thunder Lion looked at Du Xiaofu and said. Although the old lion's body was not as strong as before, it still had a powerful aura. Begin. I will teach you how to do it step by step. This is extremely difficult for others, but you practice the cultivation method of the golden-winged rock. The blood in your body is similar to that of the golden-winged rock, so it won't be too difficult for you. At most, it will be a little harder. Zhen Qingxuan's voice, which was as soft as a mosquito's, entered Du Xiaofu's ears. Du Xiaofu began to move. With Zhen Qingxuan's step-by-step guidance, he felt a lot more relaxed. Swish, under the Thunder Lion's surprised gaze, Du Xiaofu took out a dagger from his Jianquan bag and slit his wrist. Then, a stream of pale golden blood dripped out of his veins and fell into the bowl that was already prepared. Boom! As the pale golden blood dripped from Du Xiaofu's wrist, the stone room suddenly trembled. Within the pale golden blood, mysterious runes emerged. In an instant, it began to ripple with a terrifying aura. Within the aura, it seemed as if the energy of heaven and earth was gathering towards the golden blood. The stone room shone with a pale golden light, like the rising sun. The aura was monstrous. This is... The lightning demonic lion's originally calm eyes suddenly fluctuated violently. Its lying body trembled as it stood up. Within the golden blood, the aura that spread out caused its heart to tremble. It was naturally suppressed. That aura was something that even it had to fear. Senior, after consuming this blood, I will use my profound energy to help you remove the poison in your body. Du Xiaofu pressed a few fingerprints on his wrist that had cut his skin and stopped the blood from dripping out. Then, he placed a small bowl of pale golden blood in front of the Thunder Lion. The pale golden blood emitted a dazzling golden light. Energy surged and mysterious runes emerged. It was as if a golden-winged rock was about to fly out from the bowl of pale golden blood. Feeling the energy fluctuations within the golden blood, the Thunder Lion looked at Du Xiaofu with trembling eyes. It could faintly understand why Du Xiaofu said that he could heal its injuries. The lion's eyes were filled with excitement. For hundreds of years, it never thought that it would feel hopeful when the oil lamp was about to dry up. One could imagine how it felt. This is the aura of the Golden-Winged Rock Clan. The Golden-Winged Rock Clan. Kid, I won't be polite. The Thunder Lion looked at Du Xiaofu and nodded. Without saying anything, a suction force surged out of its mouth. Immediately, the pale golden blood in Du Xiaofu's bowl was sucked into its mouth and swallowed. Boom! The instant the lightning demonic lion swallowed the pale golden blood from Du Xiaofu's body, its body violently trembled. Lightning began to flicker all over its body. Gradually, a lightning glow began to gather in its eyes, which had originally lost its luster. At this moment, a terrifying energy started to spread out from the lightning demonic lion's body. Under this terrifying energy fluctuation, the lightning around the Thunder Lion's body became denser and denser. Faintly, a black flame fog seemed to want to drill out of its skin. Roar! The Thunder Lion let out a deep roar, as if it was suffering from some kind of pain. Looking at the black flame fog that spread out from the Thunder Lion's body, Du Xiaofu's expression became serious. It was likely that this black flame had something to do with the poison of the flame-poisoned demonic dragon. Senior, hold on. I will lend you a hand. With a low shout, Du Xiaofu followed Jin Qingquan's instructions and sat cross-legged in front of the lightning demonic lion. His hand seals changed and a wave of pale golden profound energy surged out from his body. After which, it rushed into the lightning demonic lion's body. The 18th update has arrived. In about 2 to 3 hours, Little Yu will continue to release explosive updates and ask for everyone's support. On the fresh flower list, we have accumulated for half a month, but in 6 hours, we have rushed to the 3rd place. Little Yu sincerely thanks all the brothers and sisters for their continued love for Little Yu. Little Yu will continue to rush the chapters. The 18th update has arrived, and Little Yu will continue to release explosive updates. Brothers, if you are happy with it, please give me all the fresh flowers. There are still 6 hours until midnight. The only thing Little Yu can do is to release explosive updates until midnight. The rest will be left to the brothers and sisters. Let's see if we can sweep the fresh flower list. Wherever we go, we will kill the gods. Little Yu once again thanks everyone for their love. Chapter 98. The lightning lion forcefully endured some kind of intense pain, lightning flashing all over its body as it tried its best to purge the poison from its body. Walala. With the help of Du Xiaofu's profound energy and blood, one could almost see faint wisps of black flame mist rapidly seeping out from the surface of its body, transforming into black runes. However, they were immediately surrounded and destroyed by golden runes and lightning runes. Time began to slowly pass. The runes and mysterious runes within the stone room surged, lightning flashed, and light shone brightly. The sun set in the west, its afterglow adding a golden glow to the continuous mountain range, causing the winding mountain range to become even darker. The sunset glow enveloped the mountain peak, casting its afterglow, adding an unfathomable feeling to the mountain peak. A middle-aged man stood silently on the mountain peak, dressed in a loose black robe, his gaze fixed on the sky in front of him for a long time without moving. Chi! Suddenly, ripples appeared in the air. Then, there was a ripple of energy, as if there were runes and mysterious runes flashing. Then, it transformed into a middle-aged man in white robes. Following the appearance of this middle-aged man, a terrifying aura swept through the mountain range. What is the news from the clan? The middle-aged man in black robes was not angry, and his gaze did not even waver. We have roughly informed the clan of the situation here. The news from the clan is... The middle-aged man in white robes walked to the side of the middle-aged man in black robes. His words paused for a moment, before he continued, the meaning of the clan is that, back then, one of them had already caused a huge commotion in the clan. Now that the little one is already able to cultivate, and his talent is barely passable, it is best to nip him in the bud, so as to prevent the situation that had finally calmed down from being affected again. We cannot allow any signs to emerge. The news has finally come from the clan, it has finally come. The black-robed middle-aged man suddenly turned around, and a ruthless gaze gushed out from his eyes. He carried a certain kind of excitement as he said in a deep and stern voice, "It's been 16 years, an entire 16 years. Because of that pair of father and son, we were exiled to this place where chickens don't lay eggs and birds don't shit. If we were in the clan, how could we have fallen to such a state in these 16 years?" The white-clothed middle-aged man looked at the black-clothed middle-aged man and said, "However, according to the news from the clan, we have to do everything properly since we made a promise. It won't be good if someone finds any evidence that can be used against us. If this matter can be resolved properly, then we don't have to stay here any longer and can immediately return to the clan. If we didn't do it at all, why would there be any evidence left behind?" The black-robed middle-aged man said in a gloomy voice. A cold smile appeared on his face. With a flash, he disappeared from the mountain peak. "Do we really have to do this? Is this really okay?" the white-clothed middle-aged man muttered softly. Soon after, his feet pushed off the ground and his body trembled. Following which, the mysterious symbols faintly surged and his body disappeared from the mountain peak. Dusk disappeared very quickly. Very quickly, the sun set behind the western mountains. As a result, the lawn wind in the valley carried a dense chill, driving the white fog down the mountain. The last of the sunset glow in the sky also disappeared. The shadow of the mountain peak pressed down on the dense forest in the mountain range. The shadow became thicker and thicker, gradually blending into the night. Under the night sky, in the study room of the Du family, Du Zhixiong's eyes were filled with doubt. He said, "Big brother, is Xiaofu really treating the Thunder Lion in the Yi family? Could it be that he met with some trouble in the Yi family? After all, the only threat to the Yi family right now is our Du family. Yi Baolin came personally and did not hide the Thunder Lion's injury from us. Therefore, it should be true." Du Zhenwu said. "Then, does Xiaofu really have a way to treat the Thunder Lion?" Du Zhixiong asked. "I don't know." Du Zhenwu shook his head and said, "However, I am willing to believe in Xiaofu. That child has always been difficult to see through and has always surprised us. That child seems to be even stronger than our third brother back then." Du Zhixiong pursed his lips and smiled. He then said, "However, compared to our third brother, he is more cunning, more ruthless, and more good at hiding." "Are you praising your own nephew?" Du Zhenwu glanced at Du Zhixiong and thought to himself. Who would praise their own nephew like this? Of course I am praising him. This way, he will not be taken advantage of easily. Du Zhixiong was sure that he was praising his nephew. From his experience, people who were cunning, ruthless, and good at hiding would not be taken advantage of. Honest people were too easy to be taken advantage of. For example, he had always thought of himself as an honest person. However, it seemed that everyone outside did not think so of him. Du Zhenwu did not say anything else. He just kept smiling. After a while, he said to Du Zhixiong, "Second brother, do you think the girl from the Yi family is more suitable for Xiaofu or the girl from the Bai family is more suitable for Xiaofu?" "I don't know. They both look good." Du Zhixiong rubbed his head. He lowered his head and thought for a while. Then, he looked up at Du Zhenwu and said, "Eldest brother, what do you think about letting Xiaofu marry both of them?" "That's a good idea. However, let's see what Xiaofu thinks first. That child is almost 17. He is not young anymore." Du Zhenwu said, "Our third brother only cares about drinking now. Therefore, we have to be more careful about these things." "That's right. We have to be more careful. When I have time, I will ask his aunt to ask." Du Zhixiong said seriously. Achoo! In the stone room of the Yi family, Du Xiaofu did not know why, but he suddenly sneezed. Fortunately, he had done what he could. For a continuous day and night, he had used his profound energy to help the Thunder Lion dispel the flame-poisoned demonic dragon's poison from its body. The consumption was too shocking, and it had already exhausted Du Xiaofu. Fortunately, the poisonous flame dragon's poison that had accumulated in the Thunder Lion's body for hundreds of years was almost completely dispelled. Crackle! In the stone room, Du Xiaofu looked at the Thunder Lion that was surrounded by lightning. It looked like a ball of lightning. He felt that everything was developing in a good direction. He was slightly relieved. The poisonous flame dragon's poison was almost completely dispelled. What happened next did not have much to do with him. As long as the Thunder Lion could hold on until the end, it would be able to regain its vitality. At that time, it would be equivalent to being reborn. It would be like being reborn from the ashes. Alright, there's nothing else for you to do. He will have to rely on himself. Zhen Qingquan's voice sounded in Du Xiaofu's ear. Du Xiaofu stood up. His face was pale. He wiped the cold sweat on his forehead. He had used up all his Xian Qi for one day and one night. He almost could not endure it. Outside the building that looked like a tower but wasn't a tower. At the edge of the field, Yi Zijin, Yi Baolin, and Yi Guang were waiting anxiously. Their gazes were constantly looking at the door. Father, do you think Leizu can recover? Yi Zijin looked at Yi Baolin and asked. Her bright eyes were filled with worry and anticipation. Her heartstrings were constantly stretched taut. I hope he can. Yi Baolin paced back and forth. His expression was serious. He was also worried. He's coming out. Yi Guang was the first to feel the fluctuation. He immediately looked at the door. The purple-robed youth was slowly walking out. Xiaofu, how is it? Did you succeed? Immediately, Yi Guang, Yi Baolin, and Yi Zijin walked over at the same time. 3 expectant gazes fell on Du Xiaofu's body. Du Xiaofu looked at the expectant gazes of the 3 people, and a smile appeared on his pale face. He nodded and said, Senior Thunder Demonic Lion is fine now. However, you should not disturb him for now. I estimate that it will take some time to completely eliminate the trouble left by the flame-poisoned demonic dragon's poison. Hearing this, Yi Guang and the other 2's nervous faces began to relax. Their taut heartstrings relaxed and were immediately filled with joy. Xiaofu, thank you, thank you. Yi Baolin excitedly held Du Xiaofu's hand. He was full of gratitude. He really did not expect that the youth in front of him had actually cured Leizu. Xiaofu, my Yi clan owes you a big favor. Whatever you want, my Yi clan will definitely do it. Even if you want my life, I will not hesitate. Yi Guang looked at Du Xiaofu, trembling with gratitude. Senior, you are too serious. I also owe Senior Thunder Lion a favor. This is what I should do. Du Xiaofu nodded. Although this time, the Yi clan had actually schemed against the other clans, he had a good impression of the Yi clan. A clan that knew how to repay kindness and did not covet the Thunder Lion's inheritance was definitely not bad. Thank you. Yi Zijin looked at Du Xiaofu, her red lips slightly opened. She only said 2 simple words of thanks, but her eyes contained a lot more. I have consumed a lot of energy, so I have to go back and do some breathing exercises to recover. I will visit another day. Du Xiaofu bid farewell. After returning to the Du clan, Du Xiaofu directly went to the back mountain of the Du clan to do some breathing exercises to recover. The empty back mountain was more suitable for breathing exercises. As soon as Du Xiaofu returned to the Du clan, the Yi clan's Yi Baolin personally came to deliver a large amount of medicinal pills and other items. There were also many martial skills and cultivation methods. The Du clan's actions were shocking. Du Zhenwu and Du Zhixiong's expressions changed when they saw this. Yi Baolin left a sentence in the Yi clan. The Yi clan owes the Du clan a big favor. From now on, the Yi clan will be the Du clan's ally and forever friend. Whoever touches the Du clan will be touching the Yi clan. The Yi clan was the Du clan's ally, but it was not the Du clan that was the Yi clan's ally. The meaning of this sentence was very different. Du Zhenwu and Du Zhixiong roughly understood the result. It must be that Du Xiaofu really cured the Thunder Lion, so the Yi clan treated him like this. Yi Baolin even said that he would give the position of the Stone City's city lord to Du Xiaofu. He said it very seriously, without any intention of joking. This made Du Zhenwu and Du Zhixiong jump in shock. No matter what, they had to ask for Du Xiaofu's opinion. You're tuning in to the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.